It's again, bitches!
You tell him! You tell him I'm coming! Tell him I'm fucking coming!
Straight out the Brooklyn basement. It's the GodMode podcast. GodMode podcast. GodMode podcast. GodMode podcast. GodMode podcast.
Yeah! We back in it. God bless it. I hope we're actually rolling now. Mother scunt. I saw the God is in the building.
What's up? What's up?
just like he was like 3 minutes ago. You know what I mean? But I think now we just might be rolling. Tell me we are rolling. Tell me we are rolling. Tell me.
Looks good on my screen. Yeah, we're rolling.
Rolling like a motherfucker. Yo, what's good, SL, man? How's the house life, man?
It's fucking dope, bro.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. It's different, but like in all the best ways. It's not good.
Well, what kind of ways? We like specifics.
Specific. The garage, the fucking the little shit. Laundry, bro. Not having to lug all your fucking laundry downstairs into some basement in a building somewhere and deal with the idiots that live there. And not all of them are idiots, but most of them are idiots.
Oh shit!
My building had a lot of strange characters in it.
Oh, do tell! I'd like to know about some of these characters.
No.
Now that you don't live there anymore, I think we have a right to know about the strange characters that inhabit apartment buildings. At least one or two stories, you know.
We had SWAT come in and scale the side of the building to break into an apartment.
What? Yeah. How did I not know about this shit?
All right. I don't know. It didn't I forgot to tell you, I guess.
How do you forget to tell me about SWAT scaling your apartment building to get into what?
Okay, so remember that Beamer kid that I told you about?
Yes.
He sold in a building? All right, so apparently his cousin or his older brother or something like that, who lived in there with his wife and I think his kid or two kids, and their mom and dad lived in there too. It was like the whole family was living in it.
Right.
But he was like a major supplier apparently. I had no idea. And I think Beamer Boy was getting his shit from him. But that guy was apparently distributing some weight.
Oh shit.
And he had warrants out and shit like that. And then one day, apparently, SWAT came up with all the gear, the riot gear, with bulletproof vests and the guns and everything else. They climbed up the side of the building and came into the apartment through the window.
What? Through his window?
To go arrest the guy. Yeah. That's the kind of shit that happened.
Which floor?
Third floor.
Third floor? Well, at least they didn't. Oh, they came down from the top of the building.
I don't know, from the bottom, from the top. They used the fire escape, I think.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, man, like if they repelled, that would have been like some amazing shit. But
I'm not sure. I didn't see it. I just heard that it happened. I was outside the building at the time.
You didn't see them? Like it would be dope if you actually saw them.
Wait, dude, I would have taken pictures. I would have taken a video. Like, my area just had crazy shit going on all the time. That big ass fire that happened with that poor little girl that passed away.
Yeah. That was some fucked up shit. To be real with you, you know, with the methods.
Entire 2 blocks from left and right completely filled up with cops and ambulances and fire department fire trucks and shit. 2-story or 3-story building just completely engulfed in flames. And I was driving to your house with your dad at the time, I think, right?
Right. Yo, that is some nutty shit.
Yeah, my building has some crazy shit going on all the time.
I believe it. But at least now you ain't got to worry about none of that shit no more.
Nope, it's fucking dead quiet here. There's no traffic. Like, you'd be hard pressed to find a car driving down the street. It's amazing.
Are you on a street or like in a cul-de-sac, like on some real?
I'm on a street.
Okay.
I'm on a street. Very, very quiet street.
Because eventually, y'all, I'm gonna have to go down there and see this joint. I still haven't seen this place just yet. You know.
I can't wait till you do.
Yeah, Brooklyn Bob was complaining. You know, he's well.
When is he not complaining?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, never mind.
Bob does nothing but complain.
Brooklyn Bob is talking. And well, actually, here's something. Here's something that'll get him later on.
Hey, mama, should I trust the government? Hey.
Listen. You don't want to. You gotta listen. That's a pretty good damn Bob impression. For those of y'all who watch the show, you know I'm not playing. But
Bob, I hope you cut this one up.
He's not gonna cut it up. He's not in it.
Oh, is that how it is? So he only.
Yeah.
He's.
He only cuts up the Brooklyn Bob sessions, which is cool. I'm with that.
All right.
I'm with that. But you know, here's a topic that I'm sure I'm gonna bring up with him the next time he's here. So I think Kim Jong Il is dead. I think.
What?
Well, yeah, you didn't see that shit.
That's the young one, right?
The right now dude.
Oh my god! No, I had no idea.
Apparently, now this, don't quote me on this. What I do know is he had, he needed a stent put into his heart or whatever. Or
He was a little fatty.
yeah. I
Chunky
think
little
he
guy.
did like to indulge, but he apparently they wound up botching the surgery, and he's either in a vegetative state or dead.
I wonder if they did that on purpose.
Shit, I would have no doubt about it, but like, I don't know, conspiracies aren't my thing, but like, imagine that it was just an accident. Like, how hilarious would that be? Like,
Bro, he would have flown in the best doctors that he possibly could from another fucking country. If he died on the operating table for a stint, I'm almost positive that shit was like passed down by order from someone else, either another government or someone within his government.
Well,
that kind of shit happens in those kinds of places.
This is true, but from what I understand, they had a medical team come in from China and like evaluate what was happening. And when one of the women or whatever came back, she posted on her Chinese website or whatever, she was like, "Yo, he's dead." Like something along those lines, you know what I'm saying? So
Right
it's
to
like,
the point.
like dead scud. Yeah, and Charles is saying, yeah, it's not confirmed yet. But I mean, look, if he's in a vegetative state, dude, that's no better. That's no better. I heard that his sister is getting pushed through the ranks right now, and I think she's gonna want to take over the fucking thing.
Really?
Apparently. And hopefully she's gonna be the one to open it, open the floodgates up and shit. But
that's a big deal. Wow.
Yeah, bro, it's happening.
I don't know
right
how
now.
I didn't hear about that.
Because everything's about the coronavirus right now. Everything's about the COVID.
Wait, did you hear about all the conspiracy theories about COVID?
Oh my God, the 5G
The
towers.
5G shit, yeah, all that nonsense. Oh man.
Yeah. For the last 2-3 episodes, it was being beaten into my head that China did this on purpose. And the only thing I could say is, on that note, I could say that I think they covered it up on purpose to save face. But when it got out of hand, they were like, "Oh fuck, now we gotta tell these people what happened."
That's for sure. That's exactly what happened.
Because the same way, like they're trying to inflate numbers on, or deflate numbers of infected in China and Russia, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? They're not actually providing the true numbers on what's happening. So I think in that same way, at first China kind of said, maybe we shouldn't tell them, but that's really on some real shit that's beating a dead horse right now.
Did you hear about what's going on in Chernobyl?
Oh, no, this is going to be good. What's happening in Chernobyl?
What was the name of the town over there? Pripyat?
Pripyat.
Pripyat.
Yes.
So
Pripyat.
there has been a giant forest fire that has been brewing there uncontrollably for a while, and
Right.
it's inching its way closer and closer towards the area where the explosion happened and everything else.
Okay.
And supposedly all that damage and all the craziness is gonna send more radiation out.
Oh wow. So when that whole thing burns down completely, it's gonna just send shit hurtling at
But
this.
there's also like, radiated soil and stuff that's, on the ground and everything. So apparently the fire itself, the heat rises and stuff, the ash is gonna get irradiated, it's gonna fly up in the air. Like it's basically gonna cause a ton, like an upwell of radiation in the area again.
Oh my god.
How much? Who knows? I have no idea.
And
But
how much will that dust travel to? You also gotta look.
exactly.
Oh,
Fun stuff around the world. Fun
that's a
stuff.
fucking boo boo, man. And nobody's trying to put this fire out, or they're not working with
They've
this.
been trying. They can't get it out. It's one of them. It's like California and Australia. Like it's just such a crazy ass fire. They can't put it out.
That's fucking nuts, Scout. Yeah, I did not hear a word about that right now. What? See, SL man, he entertains and informs.
I haven't heard any news on that for like a week and a half now. I don't know what the status of that shit is. Maybe they put it out. Maybe crisis averted. But last I heard,
And
that's the situation.
and how long ago was the last time you heard?
Like a week and a half. A week and a half, something like that.
Shit. And how long have they been battling this? You said.
Probably like another week.
Okay, so there might be a chance that some of this shit could have actually gotten put out.
Hopefully.
That's... Yo, Chernobyl is on fire and Kim Jong Un is dead.
Yep.
Like, yo, New World Order? I don't know, man. Oh, man. That's fucking
And
crazy.
the virus is a raging. We're having upswells apparently. People are getting reinfected in China and stuff, and Southeast Asia.
I was talking to a couple of EMTs, and they were saying that they're waiting for the second wave, like it's imminent.
Yeah. So I have a feeling we're gonna be in this house arrest shit for quite some time.
Well, it's better that we do it like that than not. Do you know what I mean?
I this lifestyle, I mean, obviously the virus and everything else, it's terrible and it's hitting the economy, et cetera, et cetera. Well, all the negative shit that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta tell you, once everything goes back to normal, I might try to get a permanent work from home job and just continue this shit.
Well, the reality is a lot of you've touched on a subject here. A lot of people have realized due to this situation how meaningless their travel to the office is. Do you know what I'm saying? How how pointless it is that there's like I'd say about 70% of jobs can be done from a remote location. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm one of the unlucky ones that my job you can't do that shit remotely. But Bob says hi.
What up, Bob?
But
Babo.
but a lot of things are going to change after whatever sort of normalcy that we find, I guess, in the aftermath of this, whatever that aftermath is going to be. But a lot of people are realizing that they can work from home, and the other half are starting to realize that you can do what you like and try to kind of do whatever the hell you want, because you're even if you play it safe, going to a job and being the best you in a situation like this or any kind of situation that's related, it can all be taken away just like that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
There's going to be there's that mild silver lining here that I think business is going to get restructured a lot, because if you think about it, people working from home is also good for the business. If they don't need people on site, that means they don't need as much real estate. They probably don't even have to pay people as much necessarily.
The
Not sure,
overhead
about
overhead
that.
drops.
Exactly. There you go. The overhead goes down.
Right.
Exactly. And people will be happier in general, I think, because more time at home. Like Callista's going fucking nuts. She's really happy. She's doing all the same work she used to do, but now, like, between clients and stuff, she can like cook herself something or clean or do the laundry, do housework and
Day
or
drinking.
or day drinking, right?
That's
Or,
there's been an upsurge of
than
that
being
shit.
stuck in a fucking office for 9 hours straight, where you can actually just get up away from your work for a second and stretch and like go to the bathroom whenever you need, go get yourself some coffee. I mean, you could sort of do that at the office, but it's not the same.
It's
Being able to
really
do it
not.
at home is so nice.
Absolutely. That's like if I had a shop at home and my company would send me cars. You know what I'm saying? And be like,
That'll be fucking dope.
do you know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, there's a startup idea for everybody, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like an Uber for repair shops. You know what I'm saying? And like, oh, this guy's gonna come in for an oil change, and you're chilling in your fucking shop or whatever, your home shop, and you're just fucking doing your thing. A guy pulls up like, oh, I was sent by XYZ company. Da 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 da, and it's already paid for via the app or whatever. And like, I could foresee something like that, but it's like, a good restructure will happen, yeah. And I think it's about time, because I think technology has caught up with a lot of the demand for services.
Right. We haven't caught up with it.
Oh, you're saying it's running away from us.
Yeah, bro, like look at all these retail stores that are like closing down constantly. Modell's is about to close. They went bankrupt.
No shit.
Yeah, a lot of companies went bankrupt, and it's because, no one fucking goes. The mall industry overall is shit because no one goes to stores anymore. They order shit online. So the only companies that are really flourishing are the ones that have like, they might have some retail locations or something, but the majority of their stuff is internet based, online shopping, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, like
That's why Amazon is doing so well. He's king of the fucking world. What's his name? Bezos.
Bezos, yeah, man. Well,
Yeah,
he came.
Amazon relies completely on internet sales. All he needs is factories, warehouses.
Right, to stock the goods, exactly. As long as it's in stock, it's flying to you.
Right? But if you have a retail location to sell stuff, you need to pay for a stock boy or girl or whatever the fuck, a stock individual, an inventory person.
Yeah.
You need to pay electricity and lights. You have to have security, the crazy ass overhead that's completely unnecessary.
Yeah, and they're actually, Amazon is hiring big time right now. Even Charles said, because it's like now everybody's home and Amazon food. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't blame him, and I guess people.
No, he's gonna push us forward. That's why he's so successful. I think little by little he's gonna taper down because more companies are gonna develop similar business structures.
Do you think that he's
And
gonna?
then he
Do
won't
you
have
think?
such a monopoly?
Do you think he's gonna? Do you think he's gonna allow them to do that, or do you think he's gonna try to keep a chokehold, or would he say, okay, you can open, but you're gonna have to use my platform and pay royalties?
The economy will dictate that.
What is your opinion, though?
He wouldn't be able to keep people from doing that. He already has competition that's been around for almost as long as he was. They opened up a little, like Alibaba.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's like the Asian version of it.
Actually, yeah. There's like in the Ukraine they use Alibaba a lot. Like outside of the States, Alibaba is pretty big.
Exactly. They're almost just as big as Amazon, but Amazon is Amazon, so they're like the first.
Right.
They're the big boys. What was interesting, there's a lot of companies that have already been doing this work from home thing, and I didn't even realize it. I called Con Edison to cancel my account over there in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, let me just walk over to my desk. I was just at the couch, just waiting for calls." I was like, "Oh, what's it like working from home?" And she's like, "Oh, I love it, but we've been doing this even before COVID started." I'm like, "What?" So all the Con Edison, tech people and the phone people, they all work from home.
Well,
I'm assuming a lot of companies do.
Absolutely. Like for instance, the fleet companies that I deal with, that where we service fleet vehicles. You have to call in and get authorizations for repairs, and it's like ARI Fleet or Element Fleet. Those are the two big ones. And then I'm talking to the guy, and I didn't even realize until it was like a couple of years ago. I'm talking and I hear like a kid in the background, and he's being all professional with me, and he's like, Brian, shh, shush, Daddy's on the phone. I'm sorry, I'm terribly sorry. I'm like, oh, was it bring your kid to work day? He's like, nah, man, I work from home. We all do. I was like, oh shit, that's gangster. You know what I mean? And this was like 2 years ago. So I could see that being pretty profitable. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
For the companies and for all the services rendered. I mean, like, if you and me are doing this the way we're doing it now, what's to stop them from doing it, on some professional pay me type shit?
Exactly. Another interesting way our society might change is, like, anytime I go to Asia, I notice that the whole wearing mask thing there is very common.
Yep.
And it's practically like fashion statements. They come in different prints, and like everyone just wears them, even if there's no epidemic.
Yeah. And they've been doing that for a long
sick.
time.
Yeah. So like if typically you see like if the person is sick, they'll wear the masks. They don't infect other people. They're very mindful of each other there. But what I saw when COVID started, like a couple of weeks after this whole thing began, I saw some like designer companies, like kind of like Prada or Gucci or something. They started releasing like Prada masks and shit like that.
Oh, these vultures will jump
vultures.
onto anything, bro. People still ask me, yo, where did you get that mask? Remember there's that mask you gave me, the one that I rode the bike with that night where it was cold?
Yeah.
They're like, yo, where'd you get that mask? I'm like, yo,
Taiwan.
Oh, I'm gonna tell them now, yeah, because I tell them, I got that shit off of Sub-Zero. So I mean, it is gonna be, so it's like, it's almost like it's becoming the new norm,
Yeah, and I think it should. It's a little bit more mindful. But there could be like a little blowback. Everyone is home, no one's being exposed to germs, and outside is full of germs all the time, and they also like, evolve and adapt all the time. I have a feeling that the moment COVID goes away and we step out and start, interacting with the world the way we used to, we're all just going to get randomly sick. Not with COVID.
Yeah, a new super virus that comes along that turns your internal organs into liquid shit.
Oh man, I certainly hope.
Oh shit. But hey, man. I mean, I hope that's not the case, but
everyone's immune system is going to be suppressed because everyone's constantly, in masks and sanitizing themselves, and everyone's always home, so no one's being exposed to the germs outside. I think there's going to be a mild blowback.
Well, I guess there almost has to be. There's, because we're changing our habits radically from what we used to, I guess. But I mean, for some people, it might not even be a change. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people lived reclusively before, and they're just like, yo, it's my time now. It's like my time. It's my time to shine. The
mole people will take over.
Yeah, bro. The mole people in front of the monitors with the headphones on.
Yep.
Yeah, boy. Yo, you look like a space cadet with that headset on. I meant to say that earlier.
Dope, I love it. These things are so fucking comfortable. This is a Steel Series. It's a gaming headset.
Okay. Yeah, you look like you're about to fly off somewhere, man. Like,
Love it. Airplane. When's that coming? Personal airliners.
Well,
Aircraft.
Well, that actually brings me conveniently to my next point. So I've been, I don't know if I told you, I think I did tell you, I keep on looking into this damn drone, drone flying thing, man. And like, the more I look at it, the more I go, yeah, this is something like I think I can add to the list of shit that I like to do. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about them drones, like the racing drones and everything?
I think it's dope, and I think you should do it. It seems like it's going to be really fun.
Because I'm already thinking of scenarios and shit like, like drive somewhere in the car and like find a
Sponsored by Arizona.
Yeah, the unofficial sponsors, and you find a spot like somewhere, you know, a vantage point or whatever. You just open your sunroof and put a fucking headset on and fly this thing over the ridge and just fucking chill there for a minute, check it out, take a video, come back, and then, you know, go to another place or whatever. Like, I don't know, man. There's something about it that, like, it just got me entranced for the last 2-3 weeks, to where I'm sitting there going, like, hovering over the buy button and shit, you know.
Bro, you should do it. That's the only thing that like keeps me from even trying. I just don't feel like spending half a grand on you know, a little drone.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, I think I was
definitely seems like it'll be a lot of fun.
I was counting it up, man. I think it's like $1,000 if you're gonna go.
Oh man.
Yeah, because here's the thing, because like I found a real nice, you know, racing drone company that produces, you know, nice units or whatever, but that one, you know, it's like $699, right? So you figure, okay, but
Plus tax.
So, but
Plus replacement parts.
it doesn't come with the fucking headset. The headset is another, like, is there like, you know how they have like, I don't know, like professional controllers that people come and play games with or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the same fucking game, but they have to plug in that Logitech joint that they have. So it goes the same way with the headsets. I think it's called Fat Shark or something like that, or something around them numbers. And
I like these.
Yo, he's multitasking. You know what I'm saying? Show him the yeah. That's all the God. That's it. He's got it popping, man. He's got it popping. You just need to put some art on the walls, bro.
It's coming,
You
bro.
know, because the walls look mad bare, bro. You know what I'm saying? But like so those controllers and those the headsets, those are like, I'd say like another, you know, a good couple of hundred. Well, the headset is $3 and you know you know, it comes with some kind of controller, but you know, you figure eventually you might want to like upgrade. I don't even know. I like, this to me is new stuff.
Well, you start without the headset and just learn to fly the fish.
No, you see, that's the thing. That the headset is what got me wanting it.
You get like a first-person camera view of
Right,
the drone,
of you
right?
flying.
Yeah,
So it's
sick.
like, you know, I would like to start.
You get to be a bird for a little while.
Yes, I would like to start like that. So minimum, I would like that headset to come with, you know, to buy them together. You know, the replacement parts and stuff, they're readily available. It's just like I got to do a lot more research. I got to start looking up like actual drone racing and see who the hell sponsors them and see which companies are.
Red Bull.
Yeah, well, Red
Monster.
Bull will sponsor anything. I'm saying like parts companies.
G Fuel.
And see which companies I can, you know, which company of drone that is going to be good to get. And a lot of these things are like carbon fiber. They do like $125 and shit. Like, it's like, what? Yo, this is something I could fucking.
That's crazy.
Does it? You know, and it's.
You know what I would what would bother me?
What?
I'm sure they figured out how to give you like alerts and shit, but the distance of it, like I would hate to lose myself flying around.
It's auto
and
stop.
fly too far.
Yeah, most of them, they have auto stop. Once it reaches outside of the range, it stops. Like, it won't go any further. It won't give you an alert. It'll just stop right there. It'll tell you like, yo, you're out of range, but it won't keep going.
Right.
You know, and a lot of those like beginner racing drones, they have, you know, like when you're done fucking around and you're just like, oh, okay, I'm done. You push a button, thing just hovers in place. It stops, hovers in place, and you're like, all right, I'm done for today. You push a button, the fucking thing flies right back to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. How cool is that? You know?
It's definitely cool. I want one.
Yeah, so I think this is something I'm gonna do. Just something to have like in your backpack when I go motorcycling and shit, and just, you know, it'll give me a reason to go to all these fucking like out there spots. You know what I'm saying? You just come up there, you have a couple of battery packs, you just fucking chill somewhere and just start flying the fucking thing. That's cool. I mean, I don't know. Something new I'm looking into, and I think, you know, because once we have the show going from the shop, I want to try to link the feed from the drone into the actual live feed, and I want to like fly around the block and bother neighbors and stuff. So I think I think that's something I'm definitely gonna do. Like see how quickly I can make it around my block, put a counter up and shit. And then get friends over and get the cops called on us, that kind of thing.
SWAT team climb up your house.
Oh, they don't need to. They could just, they're gonna have to climb down. I'm in a Brooklyn basement, bro. But yeah, man. So that's the new thing I'm thinking. And I was watching some of these races, man. I mean, it's some crazy shit. Like they had these quarterfinals or something, some kind of finals in Germany, and they took this skyscraper, basically a real life skyscraper, but it was just surrounded by this garden, like it was some kind of landmark or whatever, and they put range extenders around the whole property and to the top of the tower, right? So that whole thing was a nice big bubble. And they would race through the garden, hitting these like rings almost, and then go up the tower vertically and then come down the tower on the other side at full throttle. Like what? Like that was some cool ass shit, man. And I think this technology is still in its infancy, to be honest. But just that setup alone, I was like, yeah, this is something that'll help me get over my fear of heights.
Oh man, I don't know about that. I saw this video a couple of days ago. Calista showed me. It was this kid in the VR unit, and he's sitting in a chair in like the mall. So it's one of those chairs that like moves around.
Okay.
Right? So it tilts back and forth and cambers and shit like that. And I guess it's like a roller coaster situation. So he's in the VR glasses, right? And everything is fine, and the chair tilts back, right? And you see the chair start wobbling like this, and the kid is like, finally the chair tilts forward. He starts screaming, and then he passes out.
What?
Right in the chair, bro.
What? That just goes to
He's
show
in a
you.
VR unit.
That just goes to show you how much, like how real this shit is getting.
Yeah, man.
And I mean,
I can't wait till this shit is like the norm. VR, I can't wait till that's like really
the OS
the entertainment.
Yeah, the OS of everything. So like podcasts could be held in the virtual, in the virtual realm where we can walk around and shit and design our own sets and stuff. That'd be fairly amazing, to be honest with you.
People will have like set designer jobs and avatar designers and stuff like that, and you'd basically buy skins. That's where currency would go, right? You'd buy, like, say you want to have a podcast in your own GodMode cafe or some shit, right?
Right.
You'd pay some guy to design a digital cafe for you, right, to your specifications. You pay him money, and then you have a digital cafe that you can host all your shows at, and people come in.
Like, dude, I already have the layout. Like, it's not even like, you know what I mean? That's how ready I am for this.
Or a concert hall or venue or something.
Well, I would have it like it would be like a bar, like a big bar, and in the back would be like kind of a dance floor thing, and then a stage, and then I'll have them design me a building. So that, when we go upstairs, there's like, a little recording studio or a place where you can sit down at a table, you know what I mean? Or like that kind of thing. And have that room, like he'll tell me like maximum that'll host, whatever, 1,000 people or whatever. That, and I'm sure they'll find a way around like the space limitations. Like if it looks like a small club but there's like 10,000 people watching, like I'm sure it'll find a way to, maybe you can turn everybody else off if you want and you can just watch it by yourself. Like the possibilities of it are pretty endless, you know what I mean?
And I think I told you about this before, but something similar already exists. There's this game that was called like Life 2.0 or something.
Yes. Yes, yes.
And I remember I saw a documentary on, some digital stuff. It wasn't about the game, but they mentioned the game there. And there was this woman that was designing like avatars and accessories for that shit. She was making 150 G's a year
What?
selling that digital merchandise in the store for players of this game. She,
That's
quit her job, everything. She just sit home in front of her graphics designer kind of setup, and she would design, like wings for your avatar and outfits and all this other crap. 150 G's a year.
that's fucking nuts, though.
Hmm.
When you think
And that
about
was
it.
back when it was basic. Like if you look at the graphics and shit, it was garbage. I'm sure it's much better now. I tried to find it. I can't find it anymore. The actual game.
Is it so? It doesn't exist anymore?
I think it does exist, but I'm looking at the search results, and there was like a movie or something. Like I'm getting other results basically. There's other stuff with the same name.
The only thing that concerns me about that is like, right now there's not much to do in it except hang out and talk.
Hang out and talk, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so right now,
Well, what else would you do?
well, that's the thing. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a social kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, they should integrate games and stuff into games like that where you're socializing, but within that environment, you can play games with people and shit. That would be kind of cool.
Right.
With your avatars and stuff.
Exactly. Like some kind of interactivity, or like, I don't know, quote unquote, take a drive. So
I'm sure it already exists. I just don't know. Like, dude, do you know when I saw that game? Like, I downloaded it, I tried it, I wanted to take a look because it seemed interesting. That was like 15 years ago, man.
wow.
So I'm sure they've made
They've
crazy
upped the game a
improvements.
little bit in between there. That's fucking nuts. But I mean, now with the advent of the VR headsets, I wonder if they have integration already.
Probably do. Let me see if there's a Life 3.0.
They upgrade like USBs. Yeah, Charles just sent the link. Chernobyl is still burning on the anniversary of the accident.
Oh man.
That's fucked.
And what's it dated?
It's a link. I didn't.
Click the link, man. Check the date.
Let me see.
Oh, my phone's about to die. Plug that bitch in.
Let me see. Oh, well, let me click the link. The fuck?
Here, I'll find it. Did you post it in Discord?
Facebook.
On Facebook. Tell that asshole to go to Discord.
I think you just told him. And you called him an
We
asshole.
on Discord.
And you called him an
Bruh.
asshole. And you called him an
I did
asshole
it.
on top of that.
I did it with love.
Wh-
I'm
wh-
sure he understands that.
You're a loving asshole. Oh, man.
I call everyone assholes with love.
Oh, man. But yeah, dude, I mean,
Oh man,
what?
there's a video and it's 2 hours old. Chernobyl's fire still burning. Yeah, I see it. I think this is the one that he sent you.
DW.com?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one.
It says 2 hours ago. Oh my god. That's mad fire.
Like,
Oh, and I see that, what is it, a Geiger counter? What is that thing called?
yep, Geiger counter.
It's almost at 4.
I'm gonna take it
And
that,
4 means you shouldn't be standing there anymore.
and
I
I'm
think
gonna.
anything under 4, you could be there for a certain amount of time, but anything 4 or higher, you're at risk of radiation
Oh,
poisoning.
if a Geiger counter smacks 4, bro, it's fucking curtains.
No, actually, no, it's not curtains. You would survive that, but you might have some
Yeah,
trouble.
a third arm growing out of your ass.
Yeah.
Mm.
God damn it, my phone keeps going fucking nuts.
But it's fucking crazy, bro. So yeah, man, we're seeing all of these fucking crazy ass changes in the world, and us all we could think about is flying drones, man.
What else are we gonna think about? All the bad shit? Fuck
Well,
that.
listen, the way I look at it, it's
There's
better.
always been bad shit.
It's better off, to like the things that I have no control over. I try my best not to even worry about them because it's like,
Be aware of it, but don't worry about
right,
it.
you know what I mean? Like because like you're gonna drive yourself crazy, man. How is it? You know what I mean? Like the state of climate change and shit. Like, yeah, you can go fucking nuts over that as much, and it's it's changing. Yeah, not for the better, but like you recycle or whatever. Do your, you know what I'm saying? Do your part, but don't like take the weight of the whole world on you because
Recycle. Would you like to know more?
boom. But like.
Yep, that's the one. Thank you, Mr. Price. Sorry I called you an asshole.
I don't think he likes you anymore, man. I don't think Chucky likes you anymore, man. That's it, that's it. Oh shit! Oh, Chuck logged on to the fucking to
Discord, yeah.
to
He heard me.
Discord. Yeah, hold on. Let me send him a link there. Just- this may not turn out well. Oh shit! All right, so we gotta do copy that, and block. There we go. So let's see if Chucky joins our conversation here. Fuck you guys.
Come on and call me an asshole. Come on.
He's coming already. He's typing something already. It's about to happen. Come on, Chucky. Come see us on the cord. I wonder. Let's see if we can get the audio at least. But yeah, man, that's the crazy shit going on in the darn world today, man.
Yo, why'd you make me get Call of Duty?
Why did I make you get it?
Yeah.
Because. What do you mean, why? There's no why. It's just because.
Because why? There was a reason. You wanted me to play with you, right?
Yes.
So where the fuck you at?
Play Metal Gear.
What? So you're actually playing games? You made me buy this fucking game. I spent money on this shit.
You spent a lot of money on this shit.
I'm on season 3 already. I mean, everyone's on season 3, but
except me.
I've completed season 1 and season 2 to its entirety.
You're a fucking monster, bro. I just shit. I put it down and then I was kind of like, all right, well
You could put it down, but like.
All right. Your point is taken, Mr. Wireless Game Set Man. Winning the fucking the what the hell did I call it? The war thing?
Warzone?
Winning the Warzone already? Damn, man.
I can't stand Warzone anymore. Oh my god.
That's it.
Their servers are such shit. I went back to playing regular multiplayer. The servers are garbage.
Is that right?
Yeah. Plus, listen, COVID, everyone's home.
This is true. Everyone's servers are
Blizzard
overloaded.
crashed so many times, and it's always laggy. Like I can't do it. It's unplayable.
See, that's why I play Metal Gear. Nothing lags.
But Warzone is the free version of it. We didn't even have to pay for Warzone. They released that for free.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, that's like available to everyone. We have the core game.
That's
The
why
game
it
itself is
overloaded.
multiplayer.
That's why it overloaded, because when they released the Warzone, everyone got it like, yo, what's up?
Yeah, it's the most popular battle royale that's out. Everyone is playing it.
What do you mean? Not even fucking Fortnite and shit?
Fortnite and all that. Yep, it has more players than Fortnite.
Is
all
that
that.
right?
Yeah.
Because I heard Fortnite is some fucking, some real shit, apparently.
I don't know. I never played it, but there's a lot of people from Fortnite that left the Warzone. I mean, of course, once Warzone gets boring, everyone's gonna go back. But at the moment, Warzone is like where it's at.
Where it's at? That's crazy. Huh. Well, I mean...
But we play the regular multiplayer. Shit, we can even just play the fucking co-op. We don't have to go multiplayer. But fucking play. You made me buy this shit. I wasted money on this garbage.
Yo. Yeah, I think you like this garbage way too much, bro. Because when you log on to any,
I was invested.
When he logs on to any game, it's like in 3 days he's in a clan. In the fourth day, he's like the leader of the clan. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the fifth day, it's like, yo, come play with me. I'm playing one of the best guys in this game. It's like, what do you mean? Like, literally, yeah, the best guy. Just come in. And, you don't think much of it. You come in and you're like, yeah, okay. And the guy he's playing with is legit killing everybody on the map and, like, talking smack while he's doing it. And I'm like, who is this guy? Oh, this is probably, like, the clan leader. And he's like, oh, da-da-da. I'm like, bro, it's day 5 of you having this game. How the fuck did you, how are you figuring this shit out? You know what I'm saying? Like, like, nah, man, I'm just not that quick. Not that quick.
Mortal Kombat, huh?
Huh?
GodMode Studios podcast. It says I'm the best in Mortal Kombat. What is that?
Who said that?
GodMode Studios podcast.
Oh, that's Bobby.
Oh. Oh God.
Yeah.
I whooped your ass so bad. Come on.
Predator.
Stabby stick, stabby stick, stabby stick, mash, mash, mash.
Hey, like recently, it's good that he brings this up. And Bob, where you at, Bob? Like, stop hiding behind the screen, bro. You're like 3 blocks away, bro. You know what I'm saying? But what I was thinking, I might want to do in here later. In fact, I do want to do it. It's just a matter of like when. I want to bring in maybe when the PS5 drops, I might take the PS4 and bring it in here and download like a shit ton of fighting games, just like versus games. And I want to link the screen. Well, yeah, that's what the fuck I just said. You know what I'm saying? Now, like this fucking guy.
There's actually something you might be interested in. It's in its baby steps right now, but you heard of Google's Stadia?
No, I have not.
So Google released a platform called Stadia where it hold on, it's a client. Weird. Okay. Basically they run games for you in the cloud and you play them through the browser, and it's like all the popular games, the new Doom that just came out, anything like that. But all you need is a computer that can run the browser. So you can have like the shittiest computer ever. They do all the processing for you.
On their end.
You can play it on their end. It's processed in the cloud.
Okay.
And I think it's $10 a month, and you have access to a bunch of free games, and other games you have to buy, but they're usually at a discounted price. But the point is, like, you never have to get a PlayStation or upgrade your computer if your graphics card is no good anymore.
Well, that'll work great for me because, like, the flat screen that I have in here, I would like to, what I want to do is USB it into the computer and just pop another screen up, on OBS here. And then just whoever comes through, if they want to, like, talk shit while playing video games, we can totally do that.
Yeah, that would be dope.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
look
saying?
into Stadia. Stadia is pretty cool for you. You wouldn't need to get any new equipment or anything.
Sweet. I might just do that. What did our Facebook just cut out? Oh God.
Oh, and if you want to check it out, they're actually, because of this whole COVID situation, they're having a 2 months free promotion. So you
Mm-hmm.
can, it still asks you to put in a credit card, but it doesn't charge you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's Google, so it's reputable. So you could try it out and then cancel it if you don't like it.
Now my next question be, how about controllers?
You can plug in any external controller, or you can use your mouse and keyboard.
Well, like in my situation, then I'd need to find a way maybe to put like a USB controller, like two USB controllers into the TV, maybe.
Into the computer, because it's running over the computer.
Well,
I mean, you could run it off the PlayStation also. Anything that has an internet connection, you
well,
can.
I'm wondering if I can run it off of the flat screen, which is, smart enabled.
Probably, I guess, maybe.
I
But
mean,
I would just run it off of your computer, because again, all you do is go to the website and load it up, and then the browser is on that screen anyway.
well, I'd need it to be on the flat screen because if there's a guest over, they'd have to look at the flat screen without the
Right.
without the
You could do
3 second delay.
you can do all that through your computer, no?
I probably could. I just like I'm seeing if I can do it somehow standalone to where I'd let the flat screen do some of the processing and leave my
Bro, it's not doing any processing, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's all the processing is done on the end of Google and their servers in heaven.
Wouldn't that fuck my bandwidth up?
Uh, you should have enough bandwidth. Pretty sure you'll be fine.
Okay. That's something I'm gonna look into, and like besides anything, like I want to have that there. So like, when guys like Brooklyn Bob want to talk some shit and get their ass kicked in Mortal Kombat, we can do that live now. You know what I'm saying?
What's cool is that Bob can actually game with us from home now because he doesn't need any system. If he's got a laptop or whatever, he can just, hop onto Stadia.
For him, not being here and talking shit is not really the situation. In fact, he's on his way over here right now.
Cool.
So we're about to make this a fucking a triple threat real quick. And while we do that, let me let me see if I even have this set up for a triple threat. But let me see, two guests. And where are you at? This is some experimental shit. Okay, so you're gonna be there. Whoa. Are you screen sharing?
Yes, I am.
Sweet. Let me see. Let me gauge you in here.
Stadia.google.com.
All
Loads
right.
up. There you go. Destiny's already up. Oh. These are all the games that are available. Borderlands,
That's dope.
Wolfenstein, Red
That's very
Redemption.
dope.
Yep. And it'll run it, with good graphics, everything. You don't need any more platforms, just $10 a month.
That is actually really neat. Come back to you real fast. Let me gauge you up, bro. Because now I have you re-screened. Oh. In this other screen here, I want to... Because I never actually got a chance to get this screen set up nicely. Nice. Look at that. But now you're looking away from us. You don't want to talk to us. Like they do in Modern Warfare, the two guys when you stand them up and they look at each other.
Oh, yes.
that one glance over. So that's it. We're ready. We're ready for the second coming now. Are you ready to be interrupted at every possible interval?
Absolutely. But I do got work in the morning. He's not gonna be able to interrupt me for long.
Oh, don't you worry. Look at that. The video chat is working just nice. Mm-hmm. He's gonna come in here screeching. Brooklyn Bob will be in the building shortly.
The feed froze.
It shall.
Oh no,
it shall unfreeze. Get this guy.
I accidentally paused it.
Eating sandwiches and shit live on the podcast. You know, you're almost as disrespectful as Brooklyn Bob.
Hungry song.
Damn, son, that's real COVID right there.
Oh yeah.
That's some real COVID right there, man.
That's the
Just
State of the Union.
Just Matt, yo, be prepared. We're about to talk about China more than you want to. You know, this is about to be some El Rilo El Shito in theory. You know, but yeah, man. So I think in a way, like you said, it's a good thing for us to change up. And, you know, like any kind of conflict, wartime, or disaster is usually the thing that forces us to really start making changes and developing new technologies and stuff. And I think this is I don't think this is any different. You know what I mean? I think this is a major conflict, but, you know, in this case, the enemy is, you know, microscopic, which makes it ever harder to compete with. You know what I mean? So but we're still on that same thing to where we're just like, yo, we gotta make shit work. You know?
Yep. Stress changes everything. Pressure, stress. That's what causes change.
And really cool headsets.
That's right, son.
You know, if you don't have a cool headset, you know, like, you know, I feel all fucked up in my Audio Technicas now. You know what I mean? It's all like, you know.
Yours are definitely better for actual sound, I promise you.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. But when it comes to getting shot in the face, yours are the ones. But yo, let me tell you, I've been into this Metal Gear shit, like heavy lately. Like,
I don't want to hear about that shit because you should have been in Modern Warfare.
Well, Metal Gear's free.
So is Modern Warfare.
Right. So therefore,
you already bought it.
So therefore, anything that's free, I don't have to be held liable for talking about. Meaning that, you know, if it could be acquired, kind of thing. But for a game that's that old, like the shit that they have in this game, like I'm just, you know, like you could do some sadistic shit. Like it's like eventually you get this naked girl that runs around with you like a pet, like a dog, but she has a sniping rifle and she's like Predator style, invisible type shit. And like I was like, yeah, that's a pretty cool character that I can use to just walk around with me. And then I'm like, yo, let me look through the abilities this girl has. And like it just makes the game absolutely like monstrous, to the point where you can feel like you could just walk into a village, sit right outside of the village, have her scout the entire village, and you know me, everyone flies, so I have to abduct everybody. So what I do is I give her the tranquilizer rifle, and I just tell her, fire at will. And I put a suppressor on it for her. She literally kills the entire settlement. And then I just walk out and start abducting people. It's hilarious, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, this girl is legit. You know, I think her name is Quiet.
Yeah, you told me about that bitch before.
Yo, that's my girl right there. You understand? And yo, the skins you can get for her later, like when she becomes like acquainted with you better. There's one skin where she literally drenches herself in blood to strike fear into her enemies. Like, I was like, yo, and like, and it looks legit too. And after that, I started to like look into other Easter eggs because like Kojima, yo, he had to have done something to mess around with this girl, to make her like more seductive towards you or whatever. And there's little Easter eggs and shit. Like if you stay out on mission way too long and you come back to base, like you smell, and your team is like, the boss, nice to see you, boss, and they're like, oh shit, dude, this guy smells, that kind of thing. But if you have 100% standing with quiet, at the end of that sequence, one of the guys throws a bucket of water on you. If you don't know her like that, he'll just throw a bucket of water on you, and it's like, take a shower, smelly prick, But if you're on good standing with her, she intervenes. She stands in between the bucket, and she's like, and she beckons you. She's like, come, come, come. And then it plays a whole sequence of you taking a shower with her. Like, I was like, Kojima, you are the man, son. Like, that's pretty damn good for a video game. Shit. That's a nice little Easter egg, For, taking a shower with a murderous sniper. That's pretty good.
Click on that. I sent you something. I just saw this earlier.
Let me see.
Speaking of women covered in something.
Oh, man. Ooh, let me get that off screen. You must be over 18. Yeah. Yeah, all right.
And play the sound. Make it so that we can hear the sound.
I don't think I don't think we'll be able to hear the sound. Well, maybe my audience will be able to hear the sound, but I don't know if you will.
Well, I have the video, so it's fine. I want them to hear the sound.
Female outside. Now let me in the car, okay?
Man, I can't let you in the car like that, Sheldon.
I'll just play the audio so I don't get infringed.
Hey, get out my car,
Holy shit, she is butt ass
Man, look at this
naked,
bitch.
Scout.
This bitch done got on top of the car, Sheldon.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah.
Motherfucking lady. And what?
Is she?
Go to the police,
This bitch is
okay?
pissing on the car, Sheldon. Sheldon, get out the car. This bitch
Take
is
off,
pissing
bro.
and shitting
Take
on my
off,
car,
bro.
That's what I would have done, bro.
Put it in
This
gear,
bitch is
bro.
pissing and shitting on the car.
What?
Sheldon,
What?
get out my car, Sheldon.
What? Yo, I don't think.
Shorty, get off my car, Shorty.
Yo, I would have
Pissing
taken.
and shitting on
What?
the car, Sheldon.
Jesus is here, she said, bro.
Dude, what in the world?
Oh my God.
What in the world?
Sheldon,
What
get out
the
my car, Sheldon.
Yo!
I'm gonna pull out with your ass now.
Yeah, dude, yo, you should have been pulled off the minute you seen that first drip, bro.
Who?
Just to give y'all a visual, she
Who?
just peed and shitted on boy's sunroof, like
She
straight
just
up sat
pissed
on
and
top
shit
of the
all over
car
my car.
and just let loose. And
She's
the,
butt naked.
the whole time she's butt ass naked.
I love how she runs away,
Wow.
bro.
Let me
It's
see.
so
Oh, she
funny.
runs away? Where?
Piss and shitting all over
Yo,
my
finish
car.
watching that shit. It's hilarious.
All right. Yeah, she's talking to the other girl now with the other car.
Then you missed her running away.
Yo, what
She
the
just like slides down the side and just jets, and she's butt naked. She's
What
running
the
butt
fuck?
naked down the freeway.
Wait. Let me find this. Hold on. I could turn the sound off now. Holy shit. Let me see. Come on. Take off. Cheetah. Yo, she straight bounced. Like fast, yo. She almost got hit by a bus, bro. She almost legit got hit by a bus. Holy shit. I so wish I could just show this right now. Like this, wow. And people still think that crack is okay.
Oh, that is definitely not crack.
All right.
That is on some other shit.
With your medical with the medical diagnosis in mind, what do you think the underlying condition of this patient is?
Oh man. She's got to be on, what do you call it? What's that thing? On dust, bro. She's probably on dust.
When I get dusted, I like to spread the blood like mustard.
Did you enjoy that? I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that.
I thoroughly enjoyed that because I didn't think that, like, you can get shit on a titty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bon appetit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, dude, I just watched somebody shit on a titty. Like, no, like, she shat on a car and then she dipped her titty into it like ranch dressing, bro. Like, it was some legit ass shit. What? And she was like, "Let me in the car." Like, you imagine that man dumb enough let her in the car just for a second? Like, that would have been some scary ass in car poo scenario. Like, that would have been on par with that girl shooting the guy in the head in the car. You remember that video?
That was so fucked.
That was terribly fucked. But, like, this was very close to being on par with that just now. But that right there, yo. We pop off! Bing! Yo. Never give somebody your loaded gun. Somebody will think it's unloaded.
Bobo.
Huh?
Where's Bob?
Assumably and presumably he's on his way. You know? I think it's fucking nuts, bro. Fucking nuts. I can't.
I don't see that every day.
I can't fucking. I have no words. I have no words for this right now.
You're welcome.
Like, I literally have no words for this right now. If I had words for this, I wouldn't. I couldn't. They would be non-descriptive. But I'm gonna save that video just so I can review it later. Like, that's insanity. That's just insanity, bro. So, what other fun shit do you have to show me now that I've seen that right there? Like, I'm curious to see of all the other nasty shit that you watch.
But this was shown to me like an hour ago. I don't typically see that kind of stuff.
You?
Yeah.
Yo, that's this naked girl straight up pissed and shit right on. You know what would have been like the icing on the cake is if that sunroof would have caved in.
Oh,
Like, think about that for a second. If
that'd have been blood, shit, and piss.
If
everywhere.
that sunroof gave way, bro, like, that would have been the worst, best thing I would have ever seen. You know? But she took off like a fucking cheetah, though. I'll give her that.
That was my favorite part of the whole video, to be honest. When she just slides off and just jets down the fucking freeway. That was so good.
I can't even. Like, I can't.
I want Bob to watch that.
I can't, and I can't even. Like, like, you know, every, you know, the words of every girl from Beverly Hills. I can't, and I can't even. Like, that was some shit. That really, really. Whew.
That was some shit, you say?
Yes,
That
indeed.
was some shit.
That was some shit mixed with some piss and the whole nine. I don't know. Oh, let me take a 3-second break and see the devil we know, and I shall return with the splendors of Bob.
All right, see you in a sec.
Yo! Back in it to win it. Back in it to win it. SL the God. Back in the building. Back in the building. So now we're gonna set up that triple tree now, cause we got the Phenom in the building. Yeah. Got Bob in the building. And now he's already on his phone promoting.
No, I'm actually gonna go get the Slava the live thing. Where is it? Here it goes.
Get the thing.
Now I can see Slava while I talk.
Slava. Say something, man. You doing over there?
Where's Bob? There you are.
What's up, brother? How you doing? How's the married life?
What's going on, bro?
Trader with the New Jersey. New Jersey.
I knew that shit was coming.
Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous.
I'm not jealous. You couldn't move somewhere in New York.
I tried.
I know you didn't try
Too
hard
broke
enough.
for that.
Yeah. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, doing good.
How you liking the podcasts?
Loving them.
Good, good.
I didn't see your YouTube thing yet. I need to join that.
It's only clips.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not doing the full videos because it's better if he has the full video. I'm just doing the clips and stuff, and I'll clip out like an hour sometimes, half an hour, 10 minutes. All depends on what the topics are and the content.
This is my new PR department.
You know. Oh,
I think he needs to move the mic a little closer to his face.
right here, like that.
Oh, you know why? I think
Or
that
his volume is low.
Now you
no,
got
it's
it.
not his volume is low. It'll pick up the other mic, but not this
Yeah.
one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so you're kind of stuck with him at that volume. It's something.
Oh, I
with-
gotcha. In the feed, everyone hears him fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. In the Discord, for some reason, it hears the other mic, like the one on the other side, but it doesn't hear this one. I've already had these complaints before, but this is Bob's spot. I can't move him out of there.
It's
Nah,
all
that's
good.
my
He
spot.
he lives there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't. You know, that's like
It's nighttime and daytime behind me.
that's it, man. You're in the intersections of the world, man.
So, yo, what do you guys think about all this this news
China?
now? No.
Aliens?
No.
COVID?
That guy from North Korea is dead. They're saying.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, he had like some kind of heart surgery, triple bypass.
Okay.
They say he might have died a couple of days ago, but they're not admitting to it yet, or they may be brain dead or something like that. He's in bad shape.
I heard his sister was supposed to take
over,
the
yeah.
reins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think she's gonna open it up, or do you think she's just gonna do the same thing?
That's why China's fucking scared shit right now, because she was the one who was doing all the meetings at first with South Korea. She was meeting up with other countries and stuff. Mm-hmm. So she was like the one he would send, I guess, to start the meeting or whatever and talk.
Right.
And she was allowed to leave the
Diplomat.
country. Pretty much, yeah, like a diplomat. She was basically trying to cool things over with everybody. And now that if he's out of power and she's the next one to get the power, they're going to keep it in the family.
Shit.
You don't know which way she's going to go. Is she going to go towards United States and South Korea or go towards China? Now, right now, we're going all this shit on going on with China right now. She might be too nervous to join the world stage with them. So she might go over towards the Democratic side. No one knows which way she's going to go. The question is, she's a woman. Women are different than men. She might have more emotional
different,
about
Bob?
people. More emotional about your people. She might care. Women are nurturers, you know what I'm saying? She might actually care about the people who are like starving and shit.
I
And
fucking hope so.
we all hope so. So there's a good possibility that she might be the beginning of
Fix the country.
Yeah, it might happen. You never know.
What do you think it would take to fix that country?
Opening the borders. And
I
not
was just
being
gonna
a
say.
douchebag.
No, yeah, he's right. Open the borders, open up trade with everybody, allow other countries.
Allow travel.
Yeah, our travel's gonna be tough at first because there's nothing really to see there at the beginning. But
For other people to come in, no one's allowed to go there.
yeah,
Well, like to let them out first of all. Maybe they could travel out of there.
that has to be.
Everyone will immediately just fucking leave that country.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody would come back. I mean, it'd actually be a sick pandemic in the world with millions of people just fucking scattering out to all of Asia and whatever, Europe.
But
I hear most of them are fucking diseased with all sorts of shit.
yeah,
The moment they come out, they're gonna infect a whole bunch of other people.
this is true.
yeah,
There's
well-
a lot of dysentery going on over there.
They all have like parasites and
Yeah.
they're not in good shape at all. Those poor people.
No. Well, like Slava said, I think the first thing you have to do is get some serious medical attention, some agriculture going on there with some food. And then
That's right.
after that, you can slowly build them up economically. The military has to be fucking basically cut probably 75%. Like, they have to cut that military up. They have to, they have to close a lot of
If
shit
they
down.
just fucking join South Korea, everything is gonna be all right.
Do you think
South Korea is the shit.
Do you think that she would want to do something like that, and as opposed to anything else, just cut that border thing up and just kind of integrate?
I don't think they're gonna want to like disintegrate the border into, they're not gonna join South Korea and unify Korea because they want to be their own country. Maybe they'll change the name or something like that. I don't know. But they need to open up the borders and stop that thing so that people can freely travel up and down.
Right.
That way, some of South Korea's tech and agriculture and
We'll spread
economy go upwards a little bit. Go up to North Korea.
The Korean people are not stupid. They're very intelligent people.
Oh, they're super fucking smart.
They're super smart.
They're doing very well.
And if you go there with the right, I think if you go there with the right intentions, the right people, the right amount of money, and you slowly build them up, I think they can become a Japan 20 years from now easily. 20, 30. It took Japan like 20, 30 years to really build up and become what they became, Like
South Korea is pretty crazy right now, like in a good way.
South Korea
Yeah,
is
man,
nuts.
their
So.
economy is good.
Economy's booming.
Isn't Samsung from fucking South Korea?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think Samsung. I think they have a couple of big tech companies over there. I know Panasonic is from Japan.
Yeah.
Which one is Korean though?
Which one's Korean? I think Samsung's Korean.
Well, we got Slava with 3 screens over there. He's gonna hook it up right now. He's gonna tell us right now who it is.
I think so.
I could see it.
Samsung.
Samsung's Korean?
Korean.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Korea is
Hyundai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hyundai's
Oscar.
Korean. Yeah.
Kia,
What about Subaru
LG.
too? Subaru?
LG too. No, LG is Subaru is Japan. Fuji Heavy Industries.
Okay.
Slava will tell you all about that if you want him to.
Well, the bottom line is that he's right. If they open up their borders and they allow people to go back and forth, I just think South Korea alone will help them with their technology and their advancement. With the United States behind them, and Japan and other countries, even Thailand and like Vietnam, all these little
South
countries.
Korea will open up some fucking factories up there.
Yeah,
give people jobs,
exactly.
better
Yeah,
wages.
exactly. 100%.
And then employ the North Koreans to come across the border and work there
Yeah.
and bring some of the money back home.
Money and food.
Until they can, till they can figure out what's happening over there at least.
I mean,
Yeah.
the best thing the United States can do is United States, if they ever get a chance, if this guy does die and I was the president, I would try to be the first country in there to get a meeting with them, like a real deal meeting, and sit down and just offer them the fucking world. 'Cause I think should be more willing to stop the nuke program and stop all this crazy shit and just offer them the world. Like, yo, we'll build you schools. We'll help you build fucking, whatever you want.
Help you rebuild the entire country
Listen.
to today's
Schools,
standards.
Hospitals, infrastructure.
There's one thing
roads.
that
all
North
that
Korea has. They have that coastline. That could be a huge tourist attraction. Both coasts could be beaches, could be fucking hotels. You could do a lot in North Korea, a lot.
Yeah, better
I'm
than
sure Trump is thinking about that right now.
What? They already broke ground on his hotel. Probably you're talking about.
He's got investments done already.
Yeah, it's already done.
David just said Korea is gangsters all hell, hands down. So I mean, I agree with that. I really do.
The only reason why North Korea war never broke out there is because China would have a big problem because all the refugees would float to China because China's borders are weaker than South Korea, and it's a bigger border. So every refugee during the war would just go to China. So China and America kind of keep it as a quiet zone, but war was never going to break out there ever because China wouldn't allow it. China will always tell North Korea, stop. Because they know that they're going to have... Plus Russia. Russia touches North Korea too, and Russia's concerned that they're going to have 15 million people fucking crossing their border looking... No, not bad people. People fleeing war.
Right.
They don't want that.
Well, in that same instance, China was the one who sent a medical team over when the Kim got all fucked up, and that's where that news broke. Because one of the medical team members came back. It was some woman
From Hong Kong.
Yeah, and she was like, "Yo, I think he's dead."
They say he's in a vegetational state,
Yep.
which is brain dead. Let me ask a question. How did this all happen? Like, no one knew he was sick months ago.
He supposedly, like, he was touring the countryside or some shit, and then he just grabbed his chest and dropped.
Yeah.
And they didn't see him for a couple of weeks or some shit.
Yeah.
That's but the only thing that they're...
Can you imagine the United States, like, found a way to kill him, like, with some, like, poison or some, like, fucking from, like, far away? It's
That's
possible.
the first thing I fucking said.
That's what I said, right? Especially with Trump and all. If you just kill him, that's it, done deal, you know? Like, who gives a fuck? See what happens after, you know?
Become his friend first, so he thinks we're good, and then
Yeah.
just fucking snip.
What if Donald Trump fucking, like, what if Donald Trump met him, like, he shook his hand and he had, like, something on his hand, you know what I'm saying? But we had the cure for it right away. There are things that you can put on your hand. You can touch somebody and you can get a vaccine right away if they don't know about it, you know?
But you think it would have taken that long, man? It took a while.
That's the best way to do it. Wait 6 months, 8 months, a year. He'll die 2 years from now.
That's
Slowly
crazy.
death.
That if that's possible, that's fucking
What do
crazy.
they have now, Slav? They have stuff like certain chemicals they put on your skin. You'll die like 3 days later, 4 days later. They never know how you die.
Cyanide, dude.
But other things besides cyanide, too, though. Cyanide's a quick death.
There's all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
It's like plant-based stuff that'll stop your fucking heart. You know?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, like, you'd have to mix it with some arthritis medicine so it has a bust to get through the skin.
My question.
Oh, I know a lot.
I want to. I want to see if they do announce
Danger.
if they announce that he is dead. Do you think it'd be possible, like, if, like, the Chinese military will come in and say this is, like, one of our territories or this is our ally and they're gonna try to
I
protect
don't think
them?
the world would let that happen.
No, right? But
I think they would let them try to work out their own shit, and if it looks like the country's falling apart, I think it would be the same thing that happened right after World War II. I think everyone would come in wanting a peace.
yeah.
That's where I think that would be at, because everybody's interests would be.
That'd be
So-
a PR fucking nightmare. Things aren't done like that anymore. If
Yeah.
anything, they'll have a puppet up and
Yeah.
they'll try to have like economic control over the country.
They'll put a
But they
Saddam
would-
Hussein in office, kind
They'll-
of
Right,
thing.
but they're never gonna go like, oh, this is now my territory. They're gonna put up a puppet and have all these awesome deals that would benefit their country, but let them have the appearance that they're running everything independently.
Right.
What the problem with North Korea is there's nothing there. Like, there's nothing
There's
there.
probably some kind of natural resources.
There's
going on.
something there, but nothing valuable enough where, like, North Korea was smart to start selling the shit. And, like, it's just like at least, like in the Middle East, you
North
have
Korea
oil.
didn't have the infrastructure to sell anything. They don't.
They didn't, though.
have anything.
They didn't. But I'm saying, but a lot of countries that had good resources in the 40s and the 50s were able to somewhat build up a little bit. They couldn't build up at all. Like, something was wrong. They just have nothing over there.
Well, because they were run under a dictatorship, and
That's
it's
true, yeah.
it's very tough to try to present ideas to, like, yo, if he doesn't agree with me, I'm fucking dead. I don't think I'm gonna even try to talk to him.
And
kind of
even if they found a real valuable resource there, it'll take years to build the factories, to, produce it and all that kind of shit. So it's not like a one-day thing. So they just never got there. I don't know what it was. I mean, at least other countries got there, They sold other shit. I mean, at least Vietnam sold the fucking opium. You know what I'm saying? They had to sell something. They didn't give a fuck.
Well, Vietnam had more than opium.
I know. I'm just saying in general, though. That was like their main resource at fucking one point. Their main...
to the Americas,
Yeah,
yes.
that in France.
France, opium?
Yeah.
Really?
What, Paris? They all love their fucking heroin over there. You kidding me?
What, did they make it though?
No, I'm saying all the opium from Asia.
Oh, okay,
Goes
okay,
to
okay,
Europe.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
England, Ireland, Scotland had big problems with that shit, bro. Big problems.
Slava, fact check us, because we're
Checking what natural resources they got. And it's lots of mines. They have like iron, zinc, copper, magnesite,
North Korea?
which was used in steel production. Yeah, North Korea.
Oh, they have
have
all
gold.
that stuff, I'm sure, yeah.
They have like the second largest supply of magnesite in the entire world.
So
It's
there
used
you
for
go.
Chemical stuff and for steel production.
How about anything that builds batteries? Because that's where we're.
Zinc.
Lithium?
Well, zinc, yeah, you need zinc for that shit.
Yeah, this is something I really don't know much about.
Well, we'll find out
Yeah.
here in a minute. Do they have any lithium deposits?
I don't know.
It's a good question.
But they got shit over there. You can always find some use for something.
What happened with the military now? Like, if he dies, even if his sister takes control, the military in these, like, dictatorships in these communist countries, usually the leaders of the military are fucking nuts, all of them. And they always have this vision of taking over by themselves. It happens a lot throughout history.
Might throw a coup, assassinate the fucking sister.
That's what I'm
take
saying.
over the
Like,
country.
or maybe just tell her to leave the country and they're gonna take over.
See that's
That could happen.
That's a scary thing because if those guys are still on the fuck the United States.
Oh, they
train,
are.
Well, if it's really them and not him, right? If they're not trying to appease him, that's a very dangerous preposition. Because if they assassinate her, maybe because she wanted to open something up or whatever, but if they take her out and then the military takes over the country, they might push the button and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Go out in a blaze of glory type shit.
It's gonna be a new Mission Impossible movie based on this.
Ding 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 ding.
Well, they say
ding, ding.
they say Kim's uncle, I think it's his uncle. He has a brother, I believe.
Dead.
No, it's other. There's two brothers. No, one brother. Oh,
Dead. He killed his own brother.
that was his half brother or something.
No, that was his brother.
He doesn't have any more brothers.
I think he only had that one, and he done murked his ass.
I think he has one more brother, but I know he has an uncle who's involved in the military. He might
He
step
fed
up.
him to dogs.
No, he has a couple uncles. He doesn't have just one. He killed some of them. Yes.
He fed one to fucking dogs.
Yo, that's fucking
bro.
sick, man. That is sick, bro. That's a sick regime right there. How they kill people over there.
Well, like I was telling you the other night, the thing with the Kim dynasty is like just the way I said it. It's the last actual dynasty. It's the last actual anything that's equivalent to like a shogunate. It's the last
Yeah.
The last iteration of that kind of governmental set. You know what I'm saying? What do you think of that, Slav?
Well, I don't think anything of that. I think you're correct, and that's basically it.
I think the world had hope that when the father died and the son took over at a young age, I think it would have happened because his son went to school in the West. His son had some type of he had a little bit of
A lot bit. He had a lot bit of Western
yeah,
education.
but he had a lot of interest in the Western culture. And I always thought that throughout time, I think he was running the country the way he was running it, but he was slowly transitioning because he wanted anybody to catch on, anybody to overthrow him. And look now, he's already dead. What is he, 34, 35?
35.
35, he's young. So I think maybe he thought that throughout time he'll make peace with the United States, he'll open the borders to South Korea,
Yep.
and then that's the only way he could have done it. But I don't know, man. Something happened.
Quick question: Is Fidel Castro still alive?
No.
He's
No,
not,
he's
right?
dead.
No, his brothers run the country now.
Okay.
They're the same type of government. Same type of government. One family runs it. Cuba's America's eventually. Right now, it's not a big deal for
Cuba
us.
should open up, man. I want to go to Cuba, man. They got some ill ass cars from the 50s over there. That place
Go to
is.
Cuba.
We can now, right?
We can.
Can't we?
We can
Yeah,
go
you can
there.
go to Cuba.
You can go there.
Like on some vacation type shit.
Yeah, there's
You are-
cruises that go to Cuba.
You were
and shit.
always allowed to go there. You just couldn't fly from the United States.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My father went there. My father flew from Spain.
You cross the border into Mexico and then you go to Cuba.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ah. All right, boys, we're going to Cuba.
You can
We're
go.
going to fucking Cuba.
The question is if you get in trouble over there.
When Slava decides to have his wedding instead of like his one friend that made him go to Mexico, Slava's gonna make us go to Cuba.
Where'd you get married? In Mexico?
No, my buddy got married in Mexico.
Oh, I say, couldn't bring me a kilo back, you fucking scumbag? Come on, my friend. died.
Hell the fuck no, bro. I barely got out as is.
Throw it in the mail.
Well,
put a
Slava,
fucking name on it.
do me a favor. Now that we have you on this topic, tell us the story about how you escaped Mexico, please.
It wasn't that big of a deal.
But what did you know? It's not that big of a deal until you say it. So, you know.
What'd you do over there, Slava?
Hold on, it's actually a pretty good story. He downplays it, but you know,
It's not that big of a deal.
I'll just make it dramatic.
My time to go home was up, but I didn't have to go to work yet or anything. I still had several days left, but my resort time there was over, so I had to bounce. I extended my plane ticket. I postponed it, and I just stayed on the resort and kind of just chilled and went into hotel rooms that were open. Like I got some access keys and shit like that. I overheard the codes to enter some of the empty hotel rooms. And I just chilled with my friends for the next couple of days for free. And I ate, all the food for free. I drank for free. Like basically I just robbed them worth of 3 days of resort
cool.
time with all inclusive package. And then, but they have a way to like track who was there and who's not there. So I had to pretend to be this other guest that I hope I'm not incriminating myself.
No, you're back in the States. Don't worry. Just,
I pretended to be another guest. Like basically, I looked over some shoulders, got some names and some room numbers and stuff like that. And anytime I would order something, I would put it on someone else's room.
That's some G
that's
shit.
awesome.
Go ahead.
And then when it was time to finally go home, they keep track of who came and who left. And on their paperwork, I had already left. So I had to, I don't remember exactly how I did it. There was some hiding in cars going on. There's 3 checkpoints to leave the hotel and get to the airport. So for the first 2 checkpoints, I managed to just hide in the car. And then on the last checkpoint before we got to the airport, they actually they saw me and they started asking me questions. And they were about to give me my ask me to give them my passport so they could check my name and everything. Obviously, if I gave them my passport, they would have known that I just robbed them of 3 days worth of shit, and I would have gone to Mexican prison for a little while.
That would have been awesome, bro. What a story. I'd love to get that. Just for
And
a couple of days.
so I ended up giving them another name with a room number that wasn't mine, and saying that I lost my passport. Like I made up some fucking excuse basically, and I was praying to God that when they called a room that no one would answer, right? Because if they answered and the guy was like, "No, I'm here. That's not me. You're not talking to me. I'm here." You know what I mean?
Man.
So thankfully, no one answered the fucking phone in the room, and the guy wasn't gonna. He's just a guard. He's not gonna sit there and specifically make a case of me. So he was like, kind of thought about it and told me to just go. But yeah, it was pretty intense.
And those checkpoints had machine guns, did they not?
Yeah, of course. There's the
Describe what a checkpoint looks like.
It's basically a road that has a gate, and there's an employee and one of the MPs.
So you almost got shot for stealing, because that's a lot of money,
Bro, I would not have gotten shot, man.
You would have jacked him for at least like 2.5 G's worth of stay.
No, I probably like 2.5 G's would be like another week and a half. I was there for an extra 3 days, but yeah, plenty. It was like $600-700 worth.
I would say 700.
Yeah. Like, that's some crazy shit right there. My man downplays it, but he was on some Agent Orange type shit.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
I thought it was
only because, like I said, if I would have gotten caught, I would have went to Mexican prison, and I'm sure I would have stayed there for like at least a week.
Fuck.
How's the airports? Leaving Mexico.
The same.
They search you and shit like that, or?
Yeah, they got the metal detectors and they
bro.
search you at random and all that stuff. I went through no problem. I don't remember much of it anymore. This was like maybe.
Yo, they pulled me out of
10,
line.
15 years ago.
They pulled me out of line in the Dominican Republic for being too loud.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know what though? They did me a favor though, because like I was leaving the DR, and I was by myself, and I'm in the line, to get to check in, right? And and this line is taking forever. They have one clerk, and it's like 15 different, kiosks, but there's only one person working, and everybody's getting irate. But I'm the only one that's by myself. There's people there, wife and a husband. Yo, what the fuck? Blah, 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 da, da, da. They're talking amongst themselves. And I'm just like, yo, man, get this shit going, bro. Da, 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 da. My loud ass mouth. Da, 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 da. Comes point for me to go up to the kiosk, bro. 2 guards just walk up to me and say, yo, come with us.
Shut the fuck up.
No. I was like, they're like, come with us. I'm like, and I was like, what you mean? They're like, come with us. Yeah, right now. And I'm like, fuck. I ain't got nothing on me, so I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. And I was like, yo, what's going on, man? He goes, oh, you've been picked for a random search. I'm like, yo, that's on some bullshit, I'm thinking. But remember now, this line was ahead of me, like 15 or 20 people ahead of me. They walked me out of the line. They walked me ahead of everybody. They walked me through, and I had your wireless speaker, Slava. They swapped that shit with every bomb detector thing that was available.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, so what are you into? I said, I make beats. You know, I like.
Tell
I'm
it threesomes.
Like I'm into
I'm into music, and she's like,
anal-
It's just like as a sure way to get sent to DR prison. That's like, it was like I'm into hip hop. She's like, oh, Biggie Smalls. I'm like, yeah, that's classic and shit. Yo, she's like, all right, put my shit right back. I skipped the entire fucking line, and I was like in the terminal first, but like for a minute there had me shitting a brick, bro, because you know I was like, fuck, man, my loud mouth done got me into some bullshit now. You know, like that's some real shit.
I never left the country.
Oh, you're gonna, and when you do, I'm gonna film everything.
Nope.
Everything.
only-
I'm gonna film
How about this?
everything.
The only time I leave the
Bro,
country
Do you
is
want to leave the country? Like, do you ever want to go somewhere?
I really don't want to leave the country, but if I do leave the country, it's most likely I'm not coming back.
Where would you want to go if you were to come back
No, if I was to leave the country, where I
and
wanna
come
go?
back? Yes. Where would be a point of interest? Like, you know, if we're just going to chill or whatever, where would you like? What would be your go-to kind of thought about where you'd like to go? Something to see.
What I want to see.
Hmm.
What is the difference? I want to go party. I want to go see. If I had the money,
Both.
If I had enough money to do it,
Well, you know, I mean, you don't need that much money. Not as much as you're thinking.
Don't make it this complicated, bro. You understand the question. Where do you want to go?
it's a tough one though. But I'd probably
It'd be more than one place, you know.
it would probably be Europe or Japan.
All right, we're going to Japan. We're
I
fucking
mean
going to
Australia
Japan.
too, man. Like, places like that, you
I
know.
want to go to Japan so bad. Like, I really, really do. There's something about it that's just like, I need to go.
Yeah, because you'd be the tallest person there. It's great.
Well, no, I found out that I
It's
found out
dope over there.
I found out that they have a red light district.
Everything over there.
That was another interesting story.
Yeah.
You know what? All right, we got another. Slava, you're up.
No, Slava's married. Shut up, Slava.
No.
Don't incriminate yourself.
What do you mean?
His girl booked the hotel. Go ahead.
She booked the place and she didn't realize where she booked it. We got an Airbnb
No
spot,
way.
right? And we arrive over there, and the guy who owns the apartment has like a little map for the people that are renting to kind of like know what's in the area and shit. And we were smack dab in the middle of the red light district. And the moment you step out and you like go around the corner, it's just strips and strips and strips, blocks upon blocks of little store window fronts and shit with that they're always closed. And then at like 7-8 o'clock, there's like a madame sitting out front, and there's girls covered in makeup, and they're like giggling and waving at you and shit like that.
They're
I was
hot?
smack dab in the middle of the red light district. Some hot, some not.
Yeah.
The majority of them were very pretty.
What is their version of pretty as opposed to us?
Japanese, man. If they're pretty, man.
Well, no
Oh,
question. I'm curious.
I think the majority of their business comes from tourists at this point. So most of the girls were actually looked like what an American hot would be, you know, like porno body, like curvy, big
Yeah.
boobs.
And they were
Yeah, they're
and they were
thick. They were
Japanese.
thick.
And they were
Yeah,
Japanese.
They weren't all Japanese. They were all Asian, but like, you know, I'm sure some of them were Korean, some of them were this,
Yeah.
some of them were that. But
90%
they
were
were
Chinese.
all what we would consider like Kim Kardashian kind of figure. You know what I mean? Big titties, big booty.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not all, but the majority. I'd say like 7 out of 10 girls are thick, and the rest of them are.
Did you happen to see any of the prices?
No.
No.
You have to go inside and talk. They don't have prices on the outside. You talk to the.
Yeah, like a window, like $99.
I need to know how to
$140,
spend my yen money.
But yeah, if I was to go to Europe, Europe's a tough spot. Like, where would you want to go in Europe?
Amsterdam.
No, you know what though? Amsterdam is I think a little overrated. I heard. I had friends who went there, but I heard like Berlin, Paris, like London, places like that are fucking amazing. You know.
I'd love to check out the London
Stockholm.
Underground.
Yeah. Be
Like,
great.
you know what I mean? Like their party scene and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I think
You
I
know
would go.
what kind of scares me about London
What's
and
that?
England in general?
What's that?
Their population is a little bit different. Same thing with like Sweden and everything else. In movies and on TV, you only really see the good of it, right? But if you walk down the street in Brooklyn and you live in Brooklyn, you can spot the G. You know what I mean? That guy who's gonna rob you. You know
Yeah.
when to walk the other way or when to turn the corner or whatever the
Or you
fuck.
got ready at least.
Or get ready, exactly. Like you can
know
look
something's
out
up.
for that. In London, bro, they all look the same for the most part. You know what I mean? They all dress like you wouldn't know how to spot the crook. You wouldn't know who's gonna mug you. You know, that kind of bothers me.
Keep your bread in the hotel, son.
Well, I think coming from Brooklyn, you're probably
And then a lot of knife crime there. It's not even guns.
Yeah, no, it's not gun crime. It's
yeah.
knife
Yeah.
crime over there because there's a very big embargo on guns
Yes.
for that
Yeah,
whole. They
very
still have
strict
them
gun
though.
laws.
They still have them. I've watched countless documentaries
Even
where
the
kids.
cops don't have guns.
No?
The cops don't have guns. They
Dude,
just-
they have scooter gangs over there. I saw a whole like documentary on this.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, like if Bob drives the scooter, I'm gonna be sitting on the back of the scooter and we're gonna be riding through, and whoever's holding up their phones snatch purses, snatch. And most of the scooters they get from like pizza delivery joints. You know what I'm saying? They'll order a pizza. The guy comes on a scooter. And while he, you know, the whatever the transaction's taking place, somebody runs up and grabs a scooter, boom.
Yeah.
And for that one night, they'll go on they call them scooter gangs. It's insane.
Well, I watched a documentary about some guy. He's basically like he's trying to fight for London about, you know, like preserving it and stuff, like with the English culture. And he has a big problem with the Muslim communities there, because they have these communities there where like no one from the outside's allowed back, like let into their community. If girls walk through there with dresses on, they fucking say shit to them. They have a lot of issues, a lot of confrontations. And this guy was driving his car, and like these fucking Muslim guys would go up to his car and like punching his car and threatening to kill him and shit.
No shit.
They fucking hate him because he's not against Muslims. He's against them trying to do a Sharia law there and like build, you know, they want their own police force now. They want their own neighborhood. It's something zone. It's like, I don't know if it's like a Muslim zone. I don't know what they call it over there though, but it's getting out of control, and it's happening in Paris, Berlin. It's happening in all the major cities out there, and this guy was fighting against it, and they locked
And
him
it's
up.
mostly like the refugees that ran away when that whole exodus happened.
No,
right?
this is the funny part. I thought the same thing. A lot of them are, but the majority of people who are doing this are English born.
They're damn.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
surprised.
not big. It's not like the whole London. It's like small communities, small pockets. But a lot of these people
like
are,
neighborhoods that are basically.
but they're brainwashed by the refugees that come there.
I still want to chill in the West End. Like I want to kind of walk through there. Like I'm curious.
Yeah, you've been to Tokyo, right, Slava?
I have not been to
Oh,
Tokyo.
I want to go to Tokyo.
Yeah.
That's where I
yeah,
wanna go.
I'm down with you for that one.
Tokyo, Taipan.
My folks have been to
Taipan's
Tokyo.
cool,
They-
Taiwan,
you
right?
know,
You've been
but,
there, right?
But they, you know, they do it differently than how we would do it. You know, they go with the tours and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
this is and the, I don't want to do that. I want to get there, you know, get the room and then go, okay, where are we going?
And then sake.
Yes, well, of course, no question about it. You know what I'm saying?
Bring me sake and steak. Now.
Yes. You know, like we would do our own thing, you know what I'm saying? But like if I really like if I had some kind of bread to go along with this pipe dream of mine, I would like to hook up with one of the drifters and the street racers out there and have him take us on like in a 4-door car and take us to the Togs
Yeah.
and take us to all those places and see like the nightlife that you know that they live with the car culture out there.
Well, Tokyo nightlife is fucking insane. I think it's just.
Well, it's like Manhattan on the other side. It's the other fashion capital of the world.
yes.
If you know, there's New York and there's Tokyo. That's it.
Berlin and Paris, crime-wise, is bad.
Yeah.
London has it under control, and London's like in Manhattan in a way, like the little areas they have. I mean, they have some fucking ghettos on the outskirts of London. You gotta be careful, even in London. But I hear Berlin, you gotta be careful walking around by yourself. There's a lot of gangs, and it's not only they have a lot. Like I say, a lot of people from other countries, a lot of refugees are coming in, and they have gangs. If you saw Paris, there was a spot in Paris under a train station. Imagine McDonald Avenue with hundreds of thousands of homeless people or refugees sleeping there. And they was just trying to help them out little by little, and they just got to the point where they all slept under the train. And it was horrible. I mean, rapes went up, robberies, pickpockets, car break-ins, house break-ins. There was actually on video a bunch of refugees walking through a nice neighborhood in France, and they just ran into this house, kicked the fucking door in. One guy's beating the wife up in the backyard. The other two guys had the husband down, and they're just grabbing jewelry and whatever they can grab with their hands, and they're running out.
It's crazy.
And the funny part about it is they don't even run far. They run down the block and they just start walking. They don't give a shit. Because from where they come from, a piece of gold, they'll shoot you in the head for.
Yeah.
They don't have guns over there, so they just whatever. But yeah, it's out of control. A lot of shit going on. A lot of rapes. That's the biggest problem, is the rape. Who was it? I think it was, was it Belgium? Belgium was like one of the first countries to like be open to letting everybody in.
I wouldn't even know, to be honest.
I'm not 100% sure, but they were one of the countries to be like, oh, we have to let all these people in, this, that, whatever. And they let in all these refugees from all these countries, Middle East, Africa, and all of a sudden, their fucking crime rate spiked. Like double in certain categories. Like Slava said, knife attacks, rapes, robberies, what you call hate crimes, like that, because now you have religion getting involved, and now they have an epidemic, and now they can't solve it. You know why? Because half the politicians say, no, we got to keep them here for cheap labor, and the other half politicians like, yo, they're fucking raping our fucking daughters. I mean, we have to get them out of here. They're robbing our people. So it got really bad.
I've seen a couple of videos back in the day of Parisian kids going on the offense with these guys. They're like, they're walking down the street with aluminum bats, and they see the guys like breaking into stores or whatever. They start just beating the shit out of them.
Well, how about Germany? Don't fuck around with Germany's still a big country, a lot of people, and a very small country. And Germany, they're very patriotic over there. They love being German. Despite they lost the 2 wars, they're still proud of being, and they should be. People in Germany, they're starting to build these little, these little groups. I wouldn't compare them to Nazis and nothing like that, but they're very
I was
small.
gonna say, are they wearing like suspenders?
No, no.
Are they walking? Are they walking in goose step?
You know what though? No,
Yeah.
but remember
Rank
one.
and file.
Remember one thing about Germany, when the Nazis first came about, when they first started, they were a small party, and they were walking around with suit and ties at first, and they were acting like politicians, and they acted like they cared about the country and the people and the economics there, and they wanted to basically they got 10% of the population behind them, and they wanted to kick out the old government and start this new government, and they were able to do it throughout time. What's happening in Germany now is that you're getting groups of people who are getting pissed off that their country is changing. Remember, their culture's changing now. Everything's changing over there. The food, the culture, the language. They're trying to change the laws now. They're changing all the government assistance programs. And it's not benefiting the German people. It's actually hurting them. So the German people are starting to get pissed off. And there's been a couple of crazy groups who made some crazy threats. Like they were going to fucking, like you say, run around the streets with baseball bats. Look what happened in France. There was one area of France where there was a lot of crime and stuff. And like you said, there was they like their own police force. They were walking around and they were fucking scaring people off. Like if they saw a couple of guys hanging out on the corner, they were kicking them off the corner because there was a shortage of police. So right there is not a bad thing. The citizens are going to step up and try to help police the country. But what happens if it gets out of control? Do the citizens obey by their police laws now? They create their own laws where they can go around and start beating the fuck out of people, maybe killing people. It could turn bad.
Yeah. When
you let in a couple of million people from other countries, and they come in and say, "Nah, fuck this. We're allowed to rape girls. You can't. This is part of our culture over there. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. We're not doing this. We're not going to obey by your education system, nothing like that. It gets to the point where they don't obey by their criminal law system. It gets to the point where, look at London right now. London is. They say 20 years from now, London's gonna be like 80% Muslim, right? So what happens if they take over politically and they want to start passing Muslim laws, which they're free to do whatever they want. It's not my country. But for the English people,
it's the majority decision.
Exactly.
So if it's going to be 80%, then that whatever that bill is and whatever that law is, it has that much more of a chance of actually being enacted.
I mean, if you want to get technical, there has been books written about it. There has been I would say I don't know the guy's name, but someone did some crazy powerful Muslim guy said, we could take over the world without firing a bullet. All we gotta do is just move to their cities, the major cities like Paris, London, New York. All we gotta do is move there. Every family have 6, 7 kids each. Throughout 50 years of doing that, when you had the population go up in the Muslim community, you start building mosques everywhere. And guess what happens? You get into politics. The mayor of London is now Muslim. So what's going to happen is, as time goes on, it's happened in the United States. You know, the United States had a law that nobody Muslim was allowed to run for office. They just changed it probably 20, 30 years ago or something like that. But for the most of the time, you were not allowed to have any Muslims in the government as a government official, governor, mayor, anything, because they didn't want. It's a very strong religion, and they didn't want the culture to be changed. Europe used to do that too, but they stopped that. And now
Well, they would never have a Jew or even a Catholic. What even Kennedy was like the only Catholic that was ever elected.
They wouldn't have anyone except for like a Protestant or.
No, the thing is, majority of our presidents happen to be Protestant, though. But we did have a couple of Catholic presidents. We did have a lot of Jewish governors and mayors before. And we did have a lot of Muslims. We had Muslims 20 years ago we don't even know about because they were just regular order. They didn't really hype up their religion on the campaign trail. But now it's becoming a big deal. If you look at Michigan right now, Michigan and Minnesota got a big fucking problem. Okay? They had to pass a law, and they did it in New York City too, where all the street signs, like all the store signs and stuff, they were putting everything in Arabic. And they said if you drove through Michigan, some neighborhoods, it's like certain areas, you would think you're in the Middle East.
Well, it's like, but I mean, you can compare that to Chinatown.
Yes, but the difference is Chinatown is not going down to Congress saying we want to change the laws. For example, you know that little law they have where
Ben Shapiro would never allow this.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Ben Shapiro for president is something.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
Oh my
Ben
God.
Shapiro.
Would you vote for Ben Shapiro, bro?
Me?
I would.
Honestly,
I would.
Yeah. I don't care if he was Democrat, Independent. I would vote for him because I know that he'll think about doing things before he does them. That's the most important part about a president's job. Is he going to think about things before he does it? Is he going to consult with his family and his close friends and his cabinet? It's the most important thing.
It's very logical.
I also like Candace Owens. You know what that is?
No, I've been under the rock.
No, Candace Owens. She's the black girl. She's the Trump supporter. She's at Congress. She's always fucking telling people off. She's like another Ben Shapiro, but she's actually better, and she's very well educated. She's actually the biggest threat. She's the one who got Kanye on. Kanye jumped on deck with her because she went on YouTube, and she was talking the Democratic Party and all her like people around her. They basically like threw her out, like because she said she liked Donald Trump, and they basically disowned her. So she went on to YouTube and she started speaking against the Democrats. They were like making stories about her, threats to her. And they basically told her, listen, you're black. You have to vote Democrat. And she's like, fuck you. No, I don't. She's the one who started the Blacks for Trump. She was in the White House with like 400 black people. And she was with Kanye West and stuff. Kanye West commented on one of her posts saying, I like that girl. I like the way she thinks. I like how she's a free-minded person. And then a couple of days later, I think he caught on saying, wait, she's getting a lot of publicity. Some girl from Connecticut. So he put on a fucking Trump hat, and we all started after that.
That's history.
Tell you right now, it's these people are smart though. Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. I can see that right now, of them both running together. That'd be a fucking powerhouse, guaranteed win. Guaranteed win, 100%. They're very, very smart
Ben's
people.
still too young to run.
I think Ben is still he is too young. I think. But no, Ben Shapiro would definitely be a good politician. But I think he's smart enough not to do it.
Yo, we'll have like the tightest economy
I
of
don't
all
think he'll
time.
ever run.
He's not. He's too
think he'd
comfortable
ever
right
run.
now. He's too comfortable.
But if he did run, he'd fucking win. He has so much support.
Well, who's gonna debate him? I mean, really, he's probably one of the best debaters in the world, English-wise. Him and Candace Owens. They're the best debaters. I mean, you really can't debate that guy. He talks fast, he thinks fast, and he makes sense.
He has facts on his side.
There's one problem with him.
Because
Do you know why?
You can't fight facts. He doesn't go for opinion.
Yes.
If you go into an argument of opinion, he's just not going to talk to you. He's going to say no.
There's one problem with
I'm
him,
out
though.
of that conversation.
Well, if you stand against him, he'll use that against you.
But there's one problem with Ben Shapiro, which I don't
he's
think.
Jewish, so he'll never be able to fucking run.
I don't know about that, man.
I don't think this country would ever elect a Jew. At least not for...
Not now, but I don't think it's. I don't
Yeah.
think it's. I don't think it's impossible. I think if the right Jewish person.
Oh, it's
came along-
possible.
Yeah.
Of course. No, it's definitely possible, but definitely not now. It's too
Because there's a lot of Jewish people in this country who live here, and no one has a problem with them, you know? So I can't really say. The East and West Coast is where we have to really win. And the East and West Coast is loaded with Jewish people. Especially the East Coast. I mean, that from fucking from Florida up to Massachusetts, there's Jewish people in all communities everywhere. I think Ben Shapiro would sweep through the East and the West. I don't think. How about this? Nobody from the East and West Coast can really win the Midwest. It's really hard because they don't like us over there, you know. So you have to really.
He would, because
he would.
He would find a way to approach them.
He already has a lot of their support because his political standpoints, like he shares them.
Yes.
With the Midwest, they see eye to eye. The whole pro-life instead of pro-choice, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
like
his agenda.
He's very Republican.
Yeah, and he's very conservative on top of that.
Well, I would
like
say
that.
he's conservative Republican.
They like that.
He's not too far right. You know why? Because he calls out Republicans every day of the week.
Exactly.
But he also.
That's why I like him. He's Republican, but for good reason. He's not like he doesn't play by a team. He associates with the topic, the law. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the actual point. It's not like, oh, I'm Republican, so I'm just gonna support Republicans and I'm gonna vote Republican. If a Democrat came up and said everything that Ben Shapiro wanted to hear, he would drop the whole Republican thing and he would immediately vote for that guy. He's not a teamster or whatever it is that you call it.
He's not a front runner. Let's say.
I don't think it's called the teams. Whatever the fuck it's called.
I know what you're saying, though. No, I think Ben Shapiro would definitely turn the political world upside down if he ran. I don't think it's out of the question, though. But like I said, I think someone like that. Because remember,
like 20 years.
I would think I think he had to get his feet wet. Maybe like as a mayor or a governor. Governor would be good for him.
You need some kind of resume in order to even approach that kind
remember
of
one thing.
Trump was a mayor or a governor?
No, I was just
that's true.
I was just gonna comment on that. The reason why Trump was able to do it, because Trump for the past 40 years, 50 years, has been sitting down with a lot of politicians and a lot of people in the government just to do his projects, to be involved in certain things. He went to their parties. He was a part of this crew. He just wasn't a politician.
He's got the network. He's got a
he
political
was in there.
network.
He had a political network, so he knew how they thought. He knew all the schemes. I told Boris last time, remember who had Jeffrey Epstein and fucking Harvey Weinstein taken down? That was all Trump's administration. Because he knew about them before he became president, and they fucked with him. And guess what? Boom, done deal. Over for them. You know what I'm saying? So, and Hillary Clinton probably had something to do with the Jeffrey Epstein thing. I think Weinstein was all Trump. Because Hollywood attacked Trump to the fucking ball. I mean, they went on Academy Awards, and they were bashing him, and Weinstein was like, good job, guys, good job. You know, help out my friend Hillary, because now I'm going to jail. I think Trump said, hey, I know some shit about him. Remember, Trump was in Hollywood, bro, for what, 15 years doing The Apprentice? He was hanging out with these people in the back fucking rooms, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he heard girls say, yo, Harvey Weinstein raped this fucking model last week. He probably kept his mouth shut when the time was right. Boom. You notice everybody Bill Clinton was connected to went to jail?
That's true.
It is.
Anyone
Think about it.
Any connection to the Clintons whatsoever. Not
Went to
even
jail.
Bill, just any Clinton.
Yeah.
They're all gone.
They're all gone.
They're all dead or imprisoned.
You know, you haven't heard of Podesta lately. He's staying on the underground now, Podesta. He's gone. All these guys are gone, man. That's it. Done deal. It's over. But I think Harvey Weinstein I don't think he was behind the Trump bashing. I think he just let it happen. But I think that in order to stop Hollywood, you had to take down the king, and he was the king. And that was like the big story for months.
Do you think they used him to set an example for the rest of them?
I believe that's part of the reason from the women's point, from the Me Too movement. But I think on the political end,
like in general, because he was the guy, he was holding all the keys. So if you made an example out of him, then everybody else would know to fall in line.
I think the first thing that happened when he became president, he saw the reaction from Hollywood. And Trump is going after the California vote because a couple of things happened over there, which the California government didn't handle well with the economy, the fires, certain things they weren't ready for. They handled coronavirus phenomenal. And I give him credit for that. But with the homeless problem, so I think Trump's ready to go after California just to seal the election, not only for himself now, but for Pence 4 years after. Whoever else runs the Republican Party, they want to switch California over because then they'll never win an election ever again, the Democrats. And I think when he was doing that, he said, yo, we have to get Harvey Weinstein out of the way before the next election because he's the guy with the money and the power and the influence. He could tell the people on the award show or on these movies and TV shows, hey, you're doing a TV show, I'm producing it, do a couple of skits about Republicans being bad. I'm serious. Not only about Donald Trump, it's about the Republican Party. I think a lot of politicians said, hey, listen, even though Harvey Weinstein hooked me up in a nice hotel room and a couple of fucking girls, take his ass down. That's it. Casualties of war.
Well,
And that was
yeah,
it.
I would say so. Because you never know. There's three sides to a lot of these stories.
100%.
You know what I'm
100%.
saying? We only know what our opinions and social media will allow us to see. But what it really is one thing. And then the truth is a whole other thing.
See, I got one for you. John Voight.
Guys, I need to get going.
Well, one more point though, Slava. I want you to hear this before you leave. John Voight is a huge Trump supporter, a very good friend of Donald Trump. John Voight, very big name in Hollywood. When he announced that he was a Trump supporter, nobody had the balls to boycott him or his restaurant. Because he's up there. He's from like the Clint Eastwood days. You know, he had a lot of, and so was Clint Eastwood. But do you notice something? Who was one of the leading women who was who was talking about Harvey Weinstein, except Rachel McGavin? Angelina Jolie. And who's her father? John Voight. And who's one of his best friends in Hollywood? Donald Trump. Jack Nicholson. No, seriously, Jack Nicholson.
It all makes
You have
sense.
guys like that. You know, these guys, Clint Eastwood, these guys are Trump supporters. They're very powerful. They even say Denzel Washington, behind closed doors, is not really a Trump supporter, but he's a supporter of his ideas, but he don't like him personally. He even said one day, listen, the election is what it is. The best man won. Leave it alone. Move on. Help your neighbor. He didn't really say he was a Hillary supporter, but he didn't say he was a Trump supporter. But you see, I noticed a lot of these big celebrities that were friends with Trump beforehand, who were taking pictures with him and getting those little fucking those little shows in with him and stuff. Everybody knew. How about this? Everybody, I know who the scumbags are in Garrison Beach. Very small neighborhood. Hollywood is not a big neighborhood.
Right.
Beverly Hills is not a big area. So everyone knows who the scumbags are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when someone, like Kanye West, for example, when they threatened Kanye West, that went away real fast. They threatened Kanye West to take his music off the radio, and now they're going to give him no publicity anymore. They're going to fuck with him on YouTube, everything, right? He's like, bring it on, motherfucker. Because what did he say? He said it on TV. He goes, I got shit on everybody. Let's go. I got dirt on everybody. I know everything that's going on in this town. And all of a sudden, people quieted the fuck up. So I think taking out Harvey Weinstein. And yo, guys, Harvey Weinstein wasn't the only guy to go in Hollywood. He was the main story. There's other people, smaller people, who got in trouble for like financial shit, you know, real estate scams. We're not hearing about it because it's on a small scale. But he got the whole crew over there. People are getting sued now. The lawsuits haven't popped up yet to Miramax. Remember these 100 girls? They're all going to file lawsuits. What's going to happen next? Boom.
Class action.
It's going to be a big hit. All right? So I personally think Hollywood hit him hard. I think Harvey Weinstein was a very, very good friend of Hillary Clinton. They have 1,000 pictures together. He always praised her and her husband, you know? And so I think when shit hit the fan, I think Trump said, listen, let's just say Hillary came back for a second time. Harvey Weinstein was raising the money for her. He might have raised double the money next week, $2 billion. I mean, Bloomberg's ready to walk in and give $500 million to anybody. I don't care who the fuck they are. So I think Trump said, you know what? Let's cut off the head of the snake who has all the money over there, all the influence. Now who are they going to go to? No one's going to touch any politician over there right now. Because if rumors out there that, you know, if you back the losing candidate, you're going to jail. A lot of people say, you know what? I'm not getting involved.
Right.
That's it. Let the best man win. That's all. Done deal. Or best woman.
Yeah.
So I
We're back to being spectators and voters.
Yeah. Like I said, Donald Trump's not an innocent man. I just think he covers his tracks very well. I think Harvey left a lot of doors open. And a lot of, you know, he was a nasty mother. He got away with it for too long. He would just tell girls, fuck you, what are you going to do? You're not getting the part. Thanks for the blowjob last night. Well, you know, you do it to 100 of them.
The 101st is going to get you. And on that note, we're going to let my brother from another mother, Slava, do his thing.
Slava, good seeing. Slava, you married yet or you getting married?
I'm married, bro.
You married? What kind of wedding did you have? Anything?
He didn't even
Nah.
have one. He didn't
I
even,
just did the
he
official-
didn't
the
invite
paperwork.
us. Like, I thought we were friends and shit. You know?
Yeah, shit.
You know.
Didn't even happen like that. I went to my mom's house. We signed some shit. Everything was done over there, and then that's it. We submitted the paperwork. And
You
I
guys
got
trying to have a kid yet?
married. No,
Why not?
cause that's problems, bro.
What?
That's problems, man.
It's not problems. Have a kid, bro. What the fuck?
I ain't got time for that shit right now.
Yo,
You already got married.
that's
I gotta play Modern Warfare, bro.
What?
that's a question for a different podcast. Listen, let the man go. SL,
Yeah.
thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
See you next year.
Let me bring him up on the main screen. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for hanging out, and we're gonna do this
Pleasure,
more
my
often
pleasure.
now that
Let's do this once a week.
we got this situation with the Discord all worked out. And thank you, Discord, for fucking really hooking it up for us. You know what I'm saying? But on that note, we're gonna take a small break, and SL is gonna run and do his thing. And
Bye-bye, Slava.
Yo, thank you for chilling, my brother.
My pleasure. Until next time, guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah, 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 and we're back. So, yo, we got talking about some crazy shit, and I have to pull up like some Googleage on this right now because.
All right, I'll tell them what we were talking about.
Go ahead while I look it up.
We were talking about the Sphinx in Egypt. That they're saying that the Sphinx is anywhere from 10,000 to 12,000 years older than the actual pyramids. It's not facts, but people that study the erosion on the base of it are saying that it came from raindrops, from rain.
All right, here we go. In 1987, a Japanese team from Waseda University, under the direction of a guy whose name I can't pronounce, carried out electromagnetic sounding survey of the Khufu Pyramid and the Sphinx, and found several cavities and tunnels. Rare images of the Great Sphinx suggest that there are several intricate entrances. All right, let me go further into this.
And they also drilled holes, and they found stuff that was caverns.
Well, here's your thing. Hall of Records.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Hall of Records.
The Hall of Records is an ancient library claimed by Edgar Casey.
Edward Casey. He's an American psychic.
Yeah, to lie under the Great Sphinx. And later wrote as a secret in a book called Secret Chamber in 1999.
Yes.
So, I mean, like, just the fact that no one is able to go down there. Okay, you know what? This is what I'm going to ask. Why? Why was the room under the Sphinx not unearthed?
I believe it's because the Egyptian government wouldn't allow anybody from any other country. Because at that time, all the archaeologists were coming from other countries, especially from the West. They didn't want anybody digging under there and getting access to anything. So what happened was the Egyptian government and the military, there was a guy talking about it. He had a crew there. They were drilling holes. But at that time, they weren't using the sonogram or whatever. So they had a different method. So they were drilling holes, and they weren't sure if they found maybe a cave, maybe a tunnel, maybe a room. It could just be an air pocket, maybe just, you know what I'm saying, like a little cavity. They call it a cavity or something like that, a cavern. They weren't sure what they found, but once they found something and they reported it, the Egyptian government came in, the military, whatever, military police or whatever they are, they came in and they stopped everything. After they stopped it, they said, right, the archaeologist and his team, they noticed at nighttime there was a different crew of people from Egypt were working over there, but they don't know what they were doing because they didn't have access to it.
Well, look at this.
So they predict, they assume that they might have found something there and they're just not telling nobody. Maybe they didn't.
Well, let's see. This is what I've been able to find on this question. There is no evidence to indicate that the Hall of Records ever existed.
Yes.
In 1998, a guy whose name I can't pronounce, chief director of the Supreme Council of Antiques, undertook excavations beneath the main body of the Sphinx at Giza and rediscovered access tunnels to several large, apparently natural caves directly under the Sphinx. No artifacts were found, and a survey was undertaken to assess any potential threats in the substrate that might affect the ancient monument above.
Yes.
Foundation. There was evidence of earlier ancient excavations. Hawass commented in a documentary about the 1998 excavations that he suspected that there could be other cavities beneath the structure based on the evidence of the small water course that had caused some minor structural damage to the stonework on the flank of the Sphinx.
Oh, also, I'm sorry, I know what happened, Boris. I apologize, Boris. After they were doing the sonogram thing, after they shut them down, the Egyptian military or the government, they were drilling holes. And when they asked why they were drilling holes, they
Yeah.
lied and said, "Oh, we're trying to get the water out of the ground because it was fucking the Sphinx up." But the archaeologists believe they were drilling the holes
To see if they can get further.
no, to see where these things, where these rooms were.
Well, it's a little, that's kind of shitty to find that out. Because here I thought this whole time that the room was never entered, and now I find out that somebody's been there. But, just the fact that there were other evidence of ancient excavations, right? That means to say that there might have been some artifacts down there, and that shit was already taken out.
Know what the problem? Maybe. Know what the big problem is though? Is that if they were to actually go on record, scientific facts that the Sphinx was built 12,000 years before the pyramids, they would have to rewrite all the history books in the world. Because now, that's not when man started. 12,000 years that's before Christ, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a long time, man. It's a long time. So I think what you just said, I agree with you. I think they found something there. Maybe they went in there and everything was preserved, and they just said, you know what, let's leave it the way it is. I think what you just said, I agree.
My fault. Keep going.
Maybe they found stuff down there. Maybe they're studying it little by little. Who knows? Maybe they want to keep it preserved. I mean, listen, if I was the government, and we had something like that in our country, and China was coming over saying, or England saying, we want to go excavate that and take the stuff to our country. No, you're not doing that. No, not at all. There's also there's certain things that like I want to say what did they find? They found certain stuff. They found certain tools too.
Where exactly?
Like on the site. Because it's a big site, the pyramids. They had to dig up the Sphinx because it was on the ground. The sand preserved everything.
Yes.
But they have found like tools and stuff. And then some people said like these tools are older than we think. But they carbon date them, I guess, or they try to figure it out. But what it is one guy says they're 10,000 years old. The other guy says no, it's impossible because the books say it is. So they're going by what the books say.
Yeah, but carbon dating is proving a lot of that wrong.
I go with the scientific facts.
On that, you'd have to.
Now, this is the argument we had last time, is that you have religious people saying the writings say the pyramids have been built. But there's one problem, though. When the pyramids were being built, there was writings about it. We know who did it. We know how long it took, we're assuming. We have ideas on how they did it. Right. They had certain... I mean, we found the plumb bob. We found certain tools. We learned how they did certain
The battery, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, exactly. That little copper thing in the lantern or whatever.
That's a big thing.
Very
big thing.
Now, my thing is with the Sphinx, which was, if that was built at the same time, how come nobody wrote about it? No one talked about it.
Well, maybe
no one claimed it. No one took responsibility of doing this. They didn't keep records back then. It sounds like it was built before the pyramids. Maybe not 12,000 years. Listen, they could have had a heavy rainfall 1,000 years before. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. And it makes sense. Listen, you know what the Sphinx is supposed to represent? They say the Leo constellation and the stars. It's shaped like a lion.
Right.
They believe that it originally was a lion, and then when they built the pyramids, they put that what's the guy's name? The guy, the leader. What do they call him again? The pharaohs or whatever, or the guy who's in charge. They put him in the tombs and shit.
Well, here we go.
They believe they carved his face out of the lion's face. They did it over.
Oh, well, here's the most common believed one.
Yeah, check it out.
So the most common and widely accepted theory about the Great Sphinx suggests that the statue was erected for Pharaoh Khafre.
Yes.
About 2603 to 2578 BC. Hieroglyphic texts suggest that Khafre's father, Pharaoh Khufu, built the Great Pyramids, the oldest and largest.
Yeah.
The three pyramids of Giza.
What did it take? 20 years to build the pyramids or something like that? The Great Pyramid?
Let's see.
I think it's 20 years.
Long.
But now they're trying to say that the Sphinx was already there, and what they did was it used to be a lion's face, and they just changed the face to the pharaoh, and that was it, done deal. And that's when they kept records of it.
True.
But the erosion says differently. Funny, if an archaeologist, whoever these guys are, they go and they see the erosion on the side of a coastline, and they say, okay, this is 40,000 years old, people believe them.
Damn.
What?
apparently it took approximately 20 years
I feel it.
to build the pyramids.
Now, how many blocks are there?
Well, hold on, let's see.
This is funny.
Egyptian gods, 20 years. 20 years for a force of 100,000 oppressed slaves to build the pyramids, with another 10 years to build a stone causeway that connected it to the temple in the valley below. Stones were lifted into position by the use of immense machines. Ooh.
No one knows how they built them to
All
this
right,
day.
all right. How many blocks are in the Great Pyramids?
I want to fit 20 years, right? So
Oh, shit.
Don't say-
2.3 million
Hold on
blocks.
Hold on a second. I want to try something here. This is going to be interesting. You're going to like this little study right here.
2.3 million
Now, hold on.
blocks.
20 years, right? Hold on. 20
Which near
times 365, right? Equals 7,300, right? All right. Now, how many blocks are there? 7,300.
2.3 million. That's some crazy shit, right?
That means they had to set 315 blocks per day.
That's a lot.
Now, hold on a second.
That's a lot.
Now, watch. 315 divided by 24 hours. It's 13 blocks an hour.
When you have 100,000 people.
Hold on. Then divide that by what? 60 minutes? Right? Wait. I don't know if that was correct, but it makes sense though. A couple hundred blocks a day? I don't think so. Something's up. I think history's wrong. Either it took longer than they said,
Or they had better technology than we know.
or this. Maybe something was already there and they just built around it.
What do you think was there?
I don't know. Maybe there was smaller pyramids there and they just built around it. Built up. You could do that too. Know what's amazing with them too? Is they're perfectly aligned with those 3 stars.
Yeah.
They're perfectly aligned, like,
constellations, yeah.
but they're also perfectly like square and shit like that. Like they really fucking.
They knew their math.
They used mathematics to do it. You had to. There was no way. They have headers in there that hold a certain amount of weight, and it's exact. You know, and you can't even fit a credit card between the blocks. When you put a plumb bob on it, they're perfectly level. I mean, these things were.
It's crazy, right?
This is why I believe I told you that they didn't move the blocks up and down. This is why I believe that they made their own, like their own precast. I see in the city they build these forms and they pour cement in, and a couple of days later it hardens up. So let's say that they did a whole row like that, you know, Boris? Now you can do 300 blocks a day, you know what I'm saying, Boris? If you can pour that dirt and cement, you know? Now what do they use now? Lime or whatever to build them?
Hold on.
Granite? Limestone?
Let's see.
I can't see them. Where do they find these blocks? You know what I'm saying, Boris? Where do they find them, bro?
It was mined from a quarry.
Yeah, but how do they cut the rocks out of the ground, I'm saying?
The most accepted construction hypotheses are based on the idea that it was built by moving huge stones from a quarry and dragging and lifting them into place. There are 3 known chambers inside the Great Pyramids. The lower chamber is cut into the bedrock upon which the pyramid was built and was unfinished.
So here's a question now. Ready, Boris? Just curious, Boris. Let's say they got a giant rock, right? And they brought it over there. Now they had to carve it to be an exact certain size, right? To fit in place.
Yeah.
Where is all? And same thing with the Nazca lines. It's a good question. Where the fuck is all the debris? If they got a rock the size of your house, these rocks are bigger than your house. They got a rock the size of your house, and they started carving it, and they're knocking off little smaller pieces of rock.
Right.
What do they do with it? That's why my theory is that what's the number one? Let's say something right now. If I wanted to build a house out of concrete, the best place to do it would be in the desert. You know why? I have unlimited amount of resource, sand. It's all over the place. So my thing is maybe they used the sand, and they might have got the limestone.
I don't think they had the technology.
I'm saying is that no, they don't need technology, bro. All you gotta do, with that limestone, Boris. I'm not 100% sure, but if you break that limestone into a dust powder, you know what I'm saying, Boris, and you mix it with water, and you mix it with sand, you're gonna create a type of cement. So I'm thinking, what is it made of? Granite or
I'll
limestone?
tell you right now. The Great Pyramids of Giza materials: limestone,
Yes.
basalt, mortar, granite.
Okay, now look, ready for that? That sounds like cement to me, in a way, right? A type of cement. So this is ready, Boris. It makes sense that they moved the rocks from what you said. Where'd you say they got them from? From where?
A quarry nearby.
Okay, so they might have got the rocks from there. So wouldn't it make more sense to break the rocks up there, put them into fucking little fucking, maybe a little, I don't know how they transport this stuff, but break the rocks up and then bring them over there and just make forms and pour it in. It makes more sense. Boris, they are not getting that last rock to the top. You know why, Boris? I'll tell you why, Boris. When you build a ramp, Boris, to go to the top, Boris, what's the ramp going to do, Boris? The first ramp ain't high, right, Boris? When you get to the top floors, Boris, that ramp's going to be steep. You know what I'm saying, Boris? You can't carry a rock up like that, bro. Get the fuck out of here, man. It wasn't happening. 100,000 people are not carrying one of those rocks. I'm sorry. And if they're carrying one of the rocks, who's carrying another 300, bro? That would take millions of people to carry 300 rocks a day. Millions.
The stones intended for use in constructing the Great Pyramids were lifted by means of short wooden scaffold. In this way, they were raised from the earth to the first step of the staircase. There they were laid on another scaffold by means of which they were raised to the second step. So on and so forth.
Okay, now, I did construction. I seen steel beams that weighed 20, 30 tons be picked up by 2 cranes. Okay? It had to be picked up, you want to say slow?
Mm-hmm.
Take you fucking 3 or 4 hours, set that one piece.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best technology in the world. Very intelligent people doing it. They do it every day for a living.
They do it safely.
Safely.
I don't think safety was really
Hold
a
on
matter
now.
back then.
Hold on. We use cranes to do that, okay? So we had something called a derrick crane. We did the Empire State Building. Oh, no, the Chicago Boom. They would build the crane on each floor, by and move shit around. These blocks, Boris, some of them weigh hundreds of tons. That's like half the size of this block.
Right.
There's no way they're lifting that thing 2 feet. How
There's
are
a
they doing?
way.
How? Think about it, common sense wise. You have wait, you have a giant block, right? Half the size of this block, right?
Well, they just told you how did they lift the
No,
stones
they
for
assumed.
the pyramid.
They assumed. They don't know how they built the Mayan fucking pyramids too to this day. No one knows how they built them. You know, but they were smaller pyramids though. They were more doable. See what I'm saying, Boris? The only fucking pyramid they can't figure out is the Great Pyramid because the shit is too heavy, bro. They had to precast those blocks up there. It makes a lot more sense to carry up buckets of fucking dirt, granite, you know what I'm saying, and make the mixture and pour it in.
All right. Well, here's another one I got.
Oh, there's 1030. All interesting.
Well,
All
yeah,
interesting.
Exactly. So the Egyptian pyramid construction techniques are the controversial subject of many hypotheses. These techniques seem to have been developed over time. Later pyramids were not constructed in the same way as the earlier ones. Most of the construction hypotheses are based on the belief that huge stones were carved from quarries with copper chisels, and those blocks were dragged and lifted into position. Disagreements chiefly concern the methods used to move and to place the stones. In addition to many unresolved arguments about the construction techniques, there have been disagreements as to the kind of workforce used. The Greeks, many years after the event, believed that the pyramids must have been built by slave labor. Archaeologists now believe that the Great Pyramids of Giza were built by tens of thousands of skilled workers who camped near the pyramids and worked for a salary or as a form of tax payment until the construction was completed, pointing to workers' cemeteries discovered in 1990 by archaeologists for the Middle Kingdom pyramid of whoever. There is evidence from the Anal stone of the king that foreigners from Canaan were used.
All right. Listen, I believe the whole.
Still doesn't answer my question.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Listen, I just think common sense wise, I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's the time. We just did it right now. 20 years, 2 point something million blocks. The only time I seen this in the construction business, I seen them pour a whole floor in like literally minutes. All right. So if they had 100,000 people, and they were able to maybe like if they can build a form on one side of the pyramid and just say there's 100 blocks there, and they can put the spaces in, right, and they can have 100 people, bringing up the stuff, and they're mixing it and just pouring it in. Right. You never done cement work, have you?
No.
I've done cement work, and what you do is you build forms, then you make the cement, and then you just pour it in, and you take the air bubbles out, and then you let it sit there, and it hardens up after, whatever. Every cement's different, depending on what cement you're using, but usually by the end of the day, it hardens up, you pull the forms off. So I seen construction job, they put up a whole skyscraper like that. Boris, skyscrapers, they still needed cranes to get the fucking cement up there, the amount of loads. And that was difficult. I just can't see 100,000 people putting up 300 blocks a day, carrying them. I mean, plus, wherever they got these rocks from, do you really think, is there anywhere in the United States where we can get 2.3 million blocks that big and take them, if we carve them out of the ground? How are you going to start carving them out of the ground?
My next question. Go ahead.
Now, just think about it.
I'll ask.
How about it's ready, Boris? You're in the middle of nowhere, right, Boris? Like a huge parking lot, right? And there's 100 feet of bedrock underneath you, right, Boris? You start carving the ground to a square, right? Once you carve that, what tools are you going to use, Boris, to go down fucking 20, 30 feet and carve a perfect line and cut it out? You know what I'm saying, no, Boris? That's some sick. We can't do it to this day. We can use lasers, maybe. You know what I'm saying, Boris? Still, how you cutting the bottom, Boris? That's my biggest question, Boris. I know you can cut the sides, right? Maybe they have some kind of diamond blade, Boris? Maybe they have some kind of something can melt it, Boris? But my thing is, Boris, how the fuck do you cut the bottom? Now, Boris, if you look on how they built homes in Iraq and Syria, you ever see those little stone homes they build out of the sand, Boris? You see those little houses they build they make those little blocks, the little cinder blocks. They build the houses out of them. What are they using, bro? They're using the stuff in their surroundings, and they build these little homes, and they're pretty nice, Boris. They build some nice little houses over there in fucking the Middle East. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They build castles out there. Same way they built castles back in the day. It was all precasted. I just think we just don't know how they did the forms and stuff. I don't know why one archaeologist didn't come out and say, you know what? Let's check this theory out. Maybe they poured their own concrete. Maybe they made those blocks on their own. Because, Boris, they are fucking perfect, bro. I mean, talking about this is a couple thousand years later, with all the wind over there, it's still perfect, man. So, I mean, it's something's up with it, bro. I mean, I seen some, look at, where is it? Is it in Peru? Was it Peru or Costa Rica where they found those big blocks and they were like carved out perfectly, like all the angles and shit? That guy Eric Van Donken found them. They're like little H's. There's these huge blocks, like almost the size of your house again, and they're perfectly carved out. And he's like, it looks like they fit into place or something like that. They made hundreds of them and they abandoned them. And he said, "What are they for?"
Right.
And he was saying maybe spaceships or whatever, but no one knows what they were for. There's no
like stuff like that. I can always attest to like ancient worship temples. They could be those things could be a representation of something, representation of the gods. You know what I'm saying? But some of these construction methods, like we could talk about it for days and still not be anywhere near where we're supposed to be.
You know what's cool? Do you ever see the original the lunar module? It was shaped like a pyramid in a way, but it was rounded off. Yeah. So when it came in, the bottom of it was like a shield for the for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So if it burned up, they had a shield on it. The other top half was like this. Yeah. I guess for aerodynamically, maybe it made more sense. I don't know the exact reason for it, but it kind of represents. It looks like a pyramid in a way. So let's just say if there is some kind of civilization that can go to planet to planet, they might build their ships like that. So when they go into a planet, they can withhold, the atmosphere, so the pressure and stuff.
So what you're saying is that
they were mimicking something.
It's possible that the Great Pyramids were monuments, but monuments to something like that, exactly. like a craft.
It's possible.
Yeah.
How about this? Nobody knows what's in the middle of the pyramids.
Yeah, we do.
No. They're thinking that they might have just inside.
There's chambers in there. We went in there.
I'm saying on the top. I'm saying not on the first floor. Above it, I'm saying they think they might have just threw like rubble in there and then built around it so they could save time because no one really knows for fact. I look into it. What's in the middle of the pyramids? So one guy thought they might have just put like rubble in there, make it easier, which I don't believe.
Let's see what we can find.
Because you can't just go to the second and third floor in there. It's just one. It's one floor, one chamber. I think on the bottom or something like that.
Hold on.
And nobody knows what's like in the middle. I don't think, but I think they know, but they don't. I don't know. Because they counted the blocks on the outside. That's a lot of blocks.
Well, all right. So they don't have like I'm looking at a thing of it.
There's no fact of what's in the middle. They have ideas.
No. It's pretty fucking factual. There's, I mean, unless you're claiming that the top of the pyramid has passageways yet to be discovered.
Possibly.
It goes from subterranean to about almost 3/4 of the way up with passages.
Really? Yeah. I didn't know that.
Well, here, take a look.
Well, maybe certain parts of the pyramid, they could be rubble in it. They're not sure. I know there was some guy was talking about it. Or maybe there's 3 pyramids. Maybe different ones were built differently. I don't know.
Let me see.
But they were saying it's a possibility that they could have been rubble and they could have just built around it. It would be easier to put up the blocks.
No. It was all.
I don't believe that theory, though. I don't believe it anyway. I don't make any sense to me.
Well, hold on. Because, damn it. It won't let me pull it up.
I think it would be easier to make the first row precast blocks and then make the second row and the third and the fourth and just keep on going up. It'd be a lot easier. And don't forget, Boris, the reason why they killed all the workers, Boris, they say, the reason why they killed all the workers, you know why? Because they didn't want anybody to tell anybody how they did it. It was such a big deal. It was for, like, for the gods or whatever, or for their pharaoh or whatever. I don't know what the fuck what it is. But they say they killed all the slaves who did it because they didn't want to take technology anywhere else, something like that. There's so many theories.
Well, here, let me pop it on screen real quick, just so we can have a slight idea. All right.
But yeah, and there's actually some pathways in the pyramids. They stuck little robots in, and there's dead ends.
Here,
it's weird.
Check this out real quick. Give it a sec.
Did you ever see that though? They put the robot inside, Boris, and it goes and it's like an end.
Mm-hmm.
And like, why did they build it like that for? It's just a little. It goes in 100 feet and it just ends.
Mm-hmm. See it?
All right, yeah, I'm saying
that's what they have so far.
Yeah, but there's so much more to the pyramid. You probably could put rubble in there and just put blocks on top. I don't believe it.
I don't think there's any rubble. I think it's built perfectly throughout. I think everything that they wanted built was built predetermined, premeditated.
Yeah. I personally think they precasted all the blocks in place. It's the easiest way to do it.
I mean, listen, you got the right to think that because we don't know what actually happened.
There's no records.
We're assuming the best way we can, based on human strength and this and this that and the third, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah,
and we can't claim to.
No.
We could only carbon date and assume and read the hieroglyphs and kind of go and then kind of try to use the technologies that we think that was available.
What if the ancient giant theory is true? They say these people are like 20 feet tall, 18 feet tall. Now, it can start to make a little sense that maybe 100,000 of these people might be able to pull one of these blocks. Or maybe they had a technology to actually move them or make them easier.
Yeah.
But the thing is how are they getting them out of the ground? That's my thing. How are you picking up a fucking 100-ton block that you just
I was trying to look for that earlier. Let me keep trying.
It just doesn't make any sense. They're trying to say ramps, but the thing is, if you built a ramp, it would be how much of a steep to get to the top. That thing is steep, bro. When you go to the top of the pyramids, man, if you fall off that fucking thing, you're going down, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you think. Like, people climb up there. You know how long to climb up there? You gotta be in some crazy shape to get up there. You know that?
Yeah.
That's fucking serious, man. But yeah, I think the pyramids were built precast. Not precast. I think they were cemented in from the beginning. They made block by block. That's it. And they had a certain method. That's the only way you can get a couple hundred of them done a day. Seriously. Yeah, that's all. You probably can do like, honestly, Boris, how many floors is it, Boris? How many rows?
Hold on.
It's definitely more than 20 stories high, right? Yeah.
Here, I got some. I got a potential way to do this. Watch. Ready? It's gonna come up now. I gotta do it quick so I don't.
Okay.
Look.
50 stories is the pyramid, Boris.
Ready? Keep looking.
Oh, that's the ramp thing? Yeah.
They had stairs on each side, and they tied it off and moved it one by one by one.
Okay. Now that's, if the blocks are that big, now that is doable, right?
You understand what I'm saying?
But my question is, there's one problem. I've seen this before, and where they actually debunked the idea is, you see that little thing on top with that ramp on top? How they debunked it, they said to get to the top, the ramp will be too steep, and the amount of weight will increase. You understand?
Unless you make the ramp gradual,
That's the problem, though. Is
you have to build the ramp up.
no, the thing
that
is,
much bigger.
they said when they start off with the ramp, they have to start off like, just say they're building the pyramid. This is the pyramid right here. They're starting the ramp off right here.
Mm-hmm.
They have to stay there. This is the starting point, so they can only go like this.
No. They'd build it back more.
I thought about that.
That's exactly what this is showing.
But what are they building the ramps with?
Sand.
Yeah?
That's what it looks like. Well, let me
I
see.
don't know.
Step by step, guys. The slope grew with the pyramid.
Now, when I hear scaffolding, right? Scaffolding reminds me of one thing, is when you start picking things up from floor to floor, materials. Scaffolding is mostly for materials. Back in the day, they used to use scaffolding to hoist up materials with people from floor to floor. Buckets, whatever, ropes,
right.
pulley systems.
Right.
Scaffolding makes more sense. I just think it would make more sense to make the base of it, level it off, and then you precast the next fucking...
It would make sense now, but I don't think they had access to kind of even that kind of thinking or that kind of technology.
I don't think they had the smarts to build ramps like that, because those blocks were heavy.
I think they'd be able to build those blocks before they can precast, because if precasting existed back then, that would revolutionize a lot of stuff.
How about this? That's why I always go with the Nazca lines with this. Is the Nazca lines, they cut the top of the mountains off. And everybody said, the mountains are cut off, all the tops. It's just a straight road. And everyone said, where the fuck is the debris? There are pieces the size of buildings in Manhattan that are missing. Where the fuck are they? Not in the bottom of the mountain. Not in the side of the mountain. It's like they just cut the mountains. And
maybe they used it for something else.
Possibly. You know what I'm thinking they did with it? Very simple. When you break it off, they break it down to little pebbles. And then they use it for other things. Who knows? Maybe fucking to build houses, build villages, other pyramids. That's why I'm saying with the Great Pyramids, we don't know. We have an idea where it came from, all these blocks, like you just said. But do we see, like, giant squares carved out of the ground?
No, we do not.
Exactly. Where did they come from?
Now, I believe that...
And maybe erosion came in and boom, you know?
I believe that they were precast, but not on site. I believe they were precast at the quarry, cut to specifications, and then drug up these ramps to this.
Possibly. But how far was the quarry? How far was it?
I still can't find it.
I think it was a couple of miles away.
I still can't find it.
I'm being sad. I think it was right near the river. Was it the Nile River or something like that? Was right near it? The river's over there. But my thing is, where did they find these rocks? Boris, this is talking about 2 million blocks. How about this? Take the fucking pyramid, just pull it out of the ground. You have a huge hole, right? You have a huge fucking hole, bro. I don't know where it is. You know? I mean, they can figure out. They know where the Mayans built theirs. They know how they built it. They know everything about it. They have the areas where they got the rocks from. They have the tools, the proof. We don't have it with the pyramids. All we have is stories. That's why I believe the reason why they didn't write down what they did, because it wasn't that hard. They just took dirt, sand. All they took was sand, water, limestone, and other materials up there, and they pour it into a fucking goddamn square, a big square. That's it.
Get the fuck
What?
out of my face.
Tell me something I don't know, please, man. I'm interested. What?
Okay. Aswan, or pronounced Asan, lies 934 kilometers south of Giza up the Nile River.
Okay.
About 700 kilometers airline distance.
They could have used boats.
The granite quarries lie south and southwest of the city of Aswan on the right side of the Nile and cover an area of about 20 kilometers. The granite for the pyramids probably came from the northern
they
part.
say probably.
Yeah, they're not sure.
Now, if now
700, 900 fucking kilometers.
that's half our country. Yeah, our country.
What an undertaking.
That's 30% of our.
What a
that's
fucking
like going,
undertaking.
That's like going from here to Chicago. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's why I said it's possible it came from there.
Longer than that, more than that.
But how about this? Ready? Probably longer.
More than that.
Well, United States is 2,700 miles, right?
Yeah.
So Chicago's probably what, 1,400 probably from the East Coast.
No.
1,200 maybe. 1,000 miles definitely.
Let's see.
Easily.
Let's see.
But forget that. Not a big deal about that. But it's a question though, Boris. Wouldn't it make more sense, Boris, to have 100,000 workers cut it, breaking? Listen, Boris, these guys can sit there and just break these rocks apart to dust, to powder, you know what I'm saying? And just put it into buckets or put it into wherever they put it into, you know what I'm saying? And then ship it up the river.
Not bad. You were close. 790 miles.
All right, so it's further than Chicago.
No, it was 900. 930 kilometers.
Okay, so it's about the same.
790 and 930.
All right.
More.
So what I'm saying
It's
is,
crazy.
let's just say they were able to break up these rocks into small pieces, into like powder pretty much, and maybe they were able to melt it on site. You don't know what they're able to do. But I don't think they took those giant blocks and fucking went, no smart guys, you know what? Let's carry this 100-ton fucking block 700 miles. No.
It furthermore tells me that the materials had to be shipped to the site and then
made on the site.
Built on site, but I don't think it was made, like, cast onto it.
Yeah, but the thing is that if you're going to make it on the bottom, right, on the first floor, and then carry it up 15 floors, because now you're at the 15th story, it's too much work to build it. Oh, listen to me. I did some construction.
I don't think they knew how to make precast that would hold up in place. That's why I think they used the sand to dig up the squares just exact and then pour the material in there, harden it, pull it, and drag it.
What you don't know is that if you set the first block, right? The first block is set, right? Now this is hardened up. When you're going to set the second block, which is probably the cell phone, right? This block is going to lay against the first one. So now you only have to form 1, 2, and 3, right? 3 walls. But as you get up higher, it's going to change. Because now you're going to get to points where it's not really that hard, because when you get up higher, you're starting from the middle. Now you put a block here, block here, block here, block here, and you keep on going outwards. And now when you're forming, you're only forming 3 walls. It's not that hard. It's not as much weight.
Well, from what it was said, the foundation was made first.
Of course, the foundation. Yes.
The entire structure was made
Yes,
first.
and how do you make one? Do you think they carried that foundation? No.
No, they built that into.
Yes.
Yeah, the foundation was built
Which
into.
I believe, if it listen, everything else they built in these places, like I'm just saying, like when they found cities and towns, they made all the stones out of like mud and shit, you know, and they made it on. They made the wall right then and there. They didn't make the wall a mile away and carry it. They had a technology then to do that, but just did it on a bigger scale.
I don't think precasting was available.
Not precast like we have today, but a form of precasting.
Yes, I believe it was precast, but not on the actual pyramid.
Well, they had iron back then. They had wood,
Copper.
whatever, which copper can work too if you make it thick enough. Remember, all you're holding is still a lot of weight, but all you're really holding is dirt, water, and granite. But once you pour that shit in, it starts to harden right away. So you really don't have to worry about it topping over or anything like that, you know. So if you do it the right way, trust me, it can be. I've seen massive bars. I seen a fucking wall, 20 tons be poured, and the next day, you know what I'm saying, done. You know what I'm saying, Boris? and you can start building on top of that thing. A couple days later, I've seen floors get poured. It's a lot more easier, a lot quicker. I really think, and the tools they had, they could square it off. Boris, these squares are too perfect, Boris. It's too perfect, man. You get the best person in the world, and it would take them years to use a tool to make that block perfectly square. I don't care if you had 20,000 workers on a block. It would take them a long time to do it. I think it'd be easier to use these slaves just to carry shit up and pour the shit, and that's it. Just buckets of stuff you're just pouring in there. Boris, you can make it, bro. Look at everything in the Middle East is built out of what, Boris? A type of mortar, you know what I'm saying, Boris? Like some kind of mud or limestone or granite. It's all made the same. Why were the pyramids made different? I mean, the technique. Why? Doesn't make any sense. You're just making it on a bigger scale. They have made big structures before in the Middle East.
Well, you're going to be happy to see this.
What?
The answer has at least been found, and it totally contradicts the stone carving theories. The pyramids were cast in situ, stew. The limestone mud was carried up by bucketful.
Thank you.
And then poured, packed, or rammed into molds made of wood, stone, clay, or brick, placed on the pyramid sides.
Yes.
So,
I just think
I totally think it's possible.
Yeah,
I
just think me doing construction, all right, my whole life, and watch other people do it.
Right.
If somebody had to go 40 feet up with a giant, even like if you're building a chimney, you're not going to build a chimney on the floor and carry it up. You're going to build it brick by brick up there.
Yep.
It's a lot easier.
It makes sense.
So I think the people were very smart back then. And I knew that in order for them to build something this big, some serious planning, serious mathematics, some serious people had to be involved. There's a lot of money, a lot of resources to get this thing done, and a lot of food to feed these people to do it. It wasn't a fucking small project.
Right.
Probably
20 years, bro. Think
exactly. And they probably thought it was going to take longer than that.
One thing.
I'm sure they thought it would take longer, but they probably found ways to speed things up. But the reason why I say this theory is the one reason why I say it is the credit card theory. When someone says they can't even get a credit card between both the blocks, that says one thing to me. A piece of sheet metal or copper. You have one block already done. You put the sheet metal in between, very thin slice, very thin sheet, maybe an eighth thin, which they had back then, copper. You put it in between. You put the wood form up, and you pour. And guess what? You just pull that copper thing out when it's almost dry. There's a certain time to pull it out where you don't fuck it up. Then the guys will come in after and do their little hand carving for the corners and shit, which is proven. They did do some carving. They did. How about this? How about when they wrote on those walls, when they wrote things down? I know. But you see how perfect they are?
Well, that's a different thing. You
know
have
what I'm saying,
that,
but you could really, it's not a paintbrush.
No.
I mean, they have built. I mean, you saw
stonemasons or some shit.
Yo,
bro.
you saw one guy on one picture, and the same exact guy on another. It's like exactly the same size. Everything's the same.
The masonry work I'll attribute directly to human hands.
Like Taj Mahal, India. Unfucking believable. Even the Colosseum with the with the sewer system underneath.
Shit, with the whole thing that they had underneath it to house the animals and
even the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
This thing is huge. People, you don't realize how big these things are. You go there and say, "Holy fuck! You could drive you have a race car, 10 race cars in the wall, fucking China, bro, fucking drive."
And it'll go for a minute too.
I mean, it goes up and down and shit, but yeah.
Well, I mean, but you'll be driving for a while.
Yeah. So all these fucking, I like the fact you just read that now. I like the person who probably wrote that. I guarantee he has a construction background in him somewhat, and he probably just thought. Sometimes you have to look at things with common sense. You know. You know, it's like a murder case. Sometimes you gotta say, okay, who's the people that surrounded him in his life? Who's his family? Who's their boyfriends? Who's their friends? And you get the whole group there, and you look at one person and say something's not right with you. You know what I'm saying? Like you've been fighting with that person a lot over this and that. you kind of go with common sense. You say, okay, I'm going to go that direction. I like the direction where these things were set in place, you know? And it makes a lot more sense because they were perfectly done. And I'm not taking away anything. I'm actually saying it's smarter than carrying these fucking things. But Boris, how are you going to carve these things out 900 miles away, right? And then hope they're going to fit? And come on, you know, Boris? And plus, Boris, these things are different sizes on different floors, right, Boris? Because you can't use the same size blocks for the whole thing, right, Boris? Because
that I'm not
no,
sure.
no, no. I know why you can't. You know why? Because every floor is getting smaller. Right, Boris?
The Great Wall of China. How long do you think it is?
How long?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like 2,000 miles, something like that. Is it?
Sure.
Or 1,500? It's. Wait, does it go around the whole country? No, it goes around up the mountains and shit.
What's your best estimate on how long it is?
I'm gonna think. I think it's like. I really think it's a couple. Was it 2,000 miles, right?
That's your final answer?
I mean, I'm just making a guess, educated guess. How far?
You're about 11,171 miles off.
2011?
13,171 miles.
Oh, so I'm way off. I was saying 2,000 miles.
As I said, you're about 11,170
No,
miles.
I'm 111,000, 100 and something thousand miles off.
11,000. You said 2,000. It's 13,000.
Oh, wait, so okay. I knew it was big though.
It's crazy.
But not
I never knew how long the Great Wall of China is till right now.
Now, Boris, if you put the pyramids had to be like this, right? So if this is the base, right, and you put the blocks around, and you leave, you know, with a couple of feet of room on each around it, right, and you go back to the middle. Now the blocks got to be a different size because now they got to fit into a small place. You can't have the same size blocks, and if you do, how many are you gonna have? So mathematically, they had to figure all this out. So there's no way there was no way they would be able to actually carve them out 900 miles away and hope they were gonna fit in place right.
That's a good question.
These things are fucking, yeah. Some of these blocks are bigger than others as they go. I think as they went higher, the blocks might have got a little bit smaller. I think, Boris. Because I just think that's common sense. You know, it's like a steel building. The beams get lighter as they go higher. You know, because of the wind and shit. You don't want it to topple over. But the pyramids would never topple over because of the way they were built. All the weight's forcing down, and it's going right in the middle.
Nah, it doesn't tell you.
No, it doesn't
exactly.
say.
It doesn't tell you.
Because they don't know that because they can only measure the outside blocks, not the inside ones. That's the problem. They can't. If they could pull one of those blocks out and like just dismantle them and blow it up, the shit they would see inside would be amazing. Probably, you know, probably all preserved. You know what I'm saying, Boris? Be fucking phenomenal to get in there. And like I said, Boris, there's no way they carried that last block up. That had to be made on top. And know what's funny too, Boris? Guess what's made up there, Boris? You know the top was made out of gold at one point. You know it was looted, right? Not gold. It was
limestone.
Limestone. But
Smooth.
It was smoothed. What is that saying to you?
And it had a golden top.
But hold on, what is that saying to you? That it was all limestone, smoothed. That they basically it's like a stucco job in a way. You know, right? What does that say to you? They were able to turn the limestone into a mortar and spread it on.
Yes.
What's to say they couldn't just dump it with buckets and make?
I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree with you at all.
So yeah, I think there's a lot we can learn. I just think we should just I think we should blow the fucking pyramids up. That's it. Blow them up. Just blow out the top brick. The top one. See what's in the middle and see how they did it. That'll answer all the questions. Get to the middle of it.
Think.
Yeah.
But it's like disassembling something made to withstand the test of time.
Well, then stop arguing about it.
Yeah.
That's it. Everyone should stop arguing about it. If you're not going to blow the top half off and just check out the inside, boom. I don't care about them, to be honest. They blew them up tomorrow, I can live. You know what I'm saying? But I think they should definitely...
You don't think it'd be a great loss for humanity if somebody went and blew that up?
I mean, I don't think it'd be a great loss. You know why? Because we don't know how to even build them.
But doesn't that make it the loss itself because of the wonders of how it was actually built?
I mean, I don't really think so. I think it would be a great loss to certain people, but I think 50 years people would move on. They should take off one of those blocks, though. They should. Just one. Just to really study inside there. They should find a way to get a couple of blocks in to see how they built there, because that would probably answer their questions. Because they might find a tool, they might find something in there. But I like that theory the guy said with the mud, the mortar.
That is a possibility.
You know.
Really and truly.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Well, kiddies, on that note, we are 3 hours and 10 minutes in, and my ass has to be up at an essential working hour. So, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for Mr. SL and Mr. Bobby for being here.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
welcome.
saying? And we'll do this again.